You've been waiting all day, and now it's Sunday night, baby. Washington Commanders football, trying to get the season back on track here in primetime. Jayden Daniels is back. Traylon Burks making his Commanders debut here this evening. We got the Super Bowl era jerseys, and we're trying to get the season turned around. Welcome into the Commanders Report Watch Party. I'm your host, Jack Sperry. Today, we've got the 5-2 Seattle Seahawks, all right, fresh off their win versus the Houston Texans last week, coming into Landover to Northwest Stadium to take on Jayden Daniels, Jaworski Merritt, Deebo Samuel, and this entire Commanders football team. And the Commanders look to avoid their fourth straight loss before going into the NFL trade deadline over the next 2 days, okay? This is a monumental game for the Washington Commanders, in my opinion, guys. I cannot stress enough how much the Washington Commanders need to win this ball game if they want to really save their season. Because if they lose this game, you are sitting at 3-6. You are sitting in a spot where you really only have one more loss that you can take for the rest of the season and reasonably expect to make the NFL postseason this year. But if you can get a win tonight, 4-5, Terry McLaurin might be coming back. You just took down a 5-2 football team on your home turf. Maybe that's something where the Washington Commanders can put together a little bit of a run down the stretch, especially when Terry McLaurin can get back on the field with Jayden Daniels. But it all starts tonight. You got to save your season with a win at home. If you can't do so, 4 straight losses, and my guess is Adam Peters will be selling players at the deadline. Andrew Wiley, Deebo Samuel, maybe even Daron Payne could all be off the team by this time next week if the Washington Commanders cannot secure the victory. That is why tonight's game is so important. They have to save their season, and they have to win this game in order to reasonably expect to keep some of these veteran players that they have on their roster right now. So if you are joining us here for this monumental occasion for the Washington Commanders season, it all comes down to this. Make no mistake, guys, this is a playoff game as far as I'm concerned. Survive and advance. Type those real ones down there in the comments section if you are here at the beginning of today's show. We've got over 100 people watching live. Let's go, man. Type those real ones if you are here. We got Eon, we got Jaden, we got Chrome, we got Jasmine Gray, Richard Barker is here. We got Enrique Lyon, we got Titus Kitchen, we got CSX, we've got Ray Gomez, TWT, Ray Gomez. We've got Patrick Spong. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you, man. We got Dylan. We've got Kyle. We've got Douglas. We got my lovely fiance, Cassie Voth, of course, watching live with us here today. Everyone say hi to Cassie for me in the chat. We got Keith. We got Jasmine. We got Eon. We got Ty. We got Patrick. We got Dizzy Spider. We got Alex Adams. We've got Thomas Taylor. Got a good crew of Commanders fans, my mistake, ready to talk some Commanders football here on Prime Time Sunday Night Football. But coming up here, we've got more Commanders pregame coverage for you guys all throughout the evening. Of course, we're going to be getting you guys ready for this ball game, giving you a full preview of this matchup between the Commanders and the Seahawks, what you guys need to know, keys to victory, roster and scheme breakdown for Seattle. All that different stuff is coming up here shortly. But before we get into the rest of this pregame show, let's have a word from our sponsor here today, which is Prize Picks. And the hard-hitting football action is even better when you guys download the free Prize Picks app on your phone today. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter how you play, though, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. So for tonight, Ponzi and I have our Prize Picks lineup. Taking the more on Deebo Samuel, the more on Jaworski Merritt touchdowns. That is a demon tonight. I'm going to take the more on Sam Darnold passing yards against this struggling Commanders secondary. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the free Prize Picks app today. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Now, if you guys want to get on the show today, you guys can super chat down there in the comments section. If you guys don't know how to super chat, it's that symbol down in the live chat room that looks like a dollar bill. You guys click that button. You send in a dollar amount. You put in a message or whatever, and make sure to put you up on screen next to me and Ponzi here today. And today, we are actually going to be giving away a Jayden Daniels jersey. Big shout out to my man Shaggy, who put in over $300 himself last week on the Commanders Report watch party on Monday Night Football when this team unfortunately lost. But we did get enough money to give away a Jayden Daniels Super Bowl era jersey tonight. Of course, they're wearing those Super Bowl era alternates. Seattle's going to be wearing their alternate throwbacks as well. Going to be an awesome aesthetic football game tonight, folks. No question about it. And somebody at the end of today's show is going to be walking away with a Jayden Daniels jersey in that Super Bowl era design. So if you guys want to get on that raffle today, just $5 gets you in on a jersey raffle. Again, this jersey costs well over $100, guys. Just $5 in donations gets you into the raffle today. $10, we'll give you some extra raffle tickets with 3. And if you guys put in a 20, we'll give you 10 tickets, plus we'll sing a Cry, Eagles, Cry. $50, or every $50 we make on the show, we're going to be doing pickle juice shots. Got my pickle juice right here. So we'll do some pickle juice shots for every 50 that we make today. And hey, if we get another 250 plus, we'll give away another Jayden Daniels jersey next week right here on the Commanders Report watch party. And if you guys want free raffle tickets today, all you have to do is share today's stream on X and then tag our producer Ponzi on X. And if you do so, you will get a free raffle entry to win the Jayden Daniels jersey tonight. All right, so the 4 steps that you guys need to do on X to be able to get a free raffle entry. You have to click the share button below this stream. It's right down there below this video. It's that curved arrow that says share on it. Then you select the X icon when the menu pops up. Then you tag Ponzi in your post. Okay, this is very important. It's at @Pon_Xavier1. If you tag Ponzi, he's going to be able to see it and put you into the raffle. If you don't do that, he can't see it and he can't put it in the raffle. It's pretty simple. And then you guys can send the post. If you do those 4 things, you will get a free raffle entry into the raffle tonight to win that Jayden Daniels jersey. And listen, man, we completely understand not everybody has money to spend on a show or to enter a raffle or whatever. You know, certainly understand that. All we care about is that you love the Washington Commanders and you want to talk some ball and react to the game together tonight. But some free ways to help. Subscribe to the channel. We provide you guys free and informative, entertaining Commanders coverage every single day, at least one video every single day on this channel. Also, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. That's going to get more eyes into the chat room here, and the more people that are in here, the more fun it'll be. And then if you guys share today's stream on X, we'll give you that free raffle entry here on the Commanders Report. And now, my special offer to you guys, all right? We like to give away free raffle entries because we understand not everybody has the funds or the means to be able to, spend hundreds of dollars or whatever in super chats on a live show. But we still want to give, the people that watch our channel regularly a chance to get free raffle entries. So for every 50 new subscribers we get on today's show, we're going to give away a free raffle entry to somebody in the chat, all right? Right now, we are only 8 subscribers away from getting to 48,400 subscribers here on the Commanders Report. So if you guys help us get there, 8 more subscribers, we will give you guys a free raffle entry. We'll give away one randomly in the chat to somebody that doesn't have one yet. Then, if we can get to 100 likes, right now we are sitting at 123 people watching live, but just 31 likes. If we can get that up to 100 likes, we will give away our first raffle entry of the evening, okay? So those are our deals here for tonight. Jayden Daniels jersey is what's up for grabs. We got a couple super chats I saw that we'll get to here momentarily. Once our super chat stuff kind of catches up with us here. We got about 40 minutes until we kick things off in Landover. So let's get this party started. $5 from Brandon Jacobs. $5 says, we need this win. And, I couldn't have said it any better myself, Brandon. Like, this is a must-win if you want to make the NFL postseason this year. plain simply. This is a playoff game as far as I'm concerned. If you lose, your season is all but over unless Jayden Daniels and this Commanders team is like literally the best team in the league down the stretch. That's really the only way the Commanders could dig themselves out of this hole if they go down to 3-6. So you have to win this ball game tonight. You have to get to 4-5. Give yourself an opportunity in Detroit next week to get back to 500 and then regroup from there. Guys, Detroit lost today to the Minnesota Vikings and J.J. McCarthy. They are beatable, okay? So if the Commanders can get a win today and they can look convincing and they can look very good out there on both sides of the field, they take off Bobby Wagner, frankly, on defense, I think that, the Commanders could maybe pull a rabbit out of their hat in the weeks to come and get back on the winning track. But it has to start tonight. You have to win this ball game. Playoff football is officially here in Washington. Hope you guys are ready for it because we got to win tonight. All right. So was that our only Super Chat? Okay, that's our first one of the day. So big shout out to Brandon. He is in on the jersey raffle. And if nobody else super chats, Brandon's going to get a jersey for $5 today. So let's not make it too easy on Brandon here. Sorry, Brandon, but we want a little bit of competition in there. Get those super chats in. Get those donations in. We greatly appreciate you guys. But now, let's dive into this matchup here, which, like I said, is a must-win for the Washington Commanders. You're sitting at 3-5. You've lost 3 in a row. You go from 3-2, one of the best run games in the league. You feel really good about where you're sitting. All of a sudden now, 3 straight losses. You're sitting at 3-5, and your season is on the line tonight on primetime football versus a playoff team. The Seattle Seahawks are likely to make the playoffs in the NFC this year. They're a well-rounded group. They're a well-coached group. So this is one that the Washington Commanders need to win to prove to the NFL world that they can still compete with the big boys in the National Football League. And the good news is Jayden Daniels is back this week. Now, I respect Marcus Mariota quite a bit. I honestly thought he didn't play atrociously last week. The defense just kind of had the game get away from them against Kansas City. But Jayden Daniels is the type of guy where if he can be special, he can elevate a team to playoff and even Super Bowl contention. We saw that last year. Now, obviously, we saw him do that last year with Terry McLaurin on the field. He's not going to have Terry McLaurin on the field tonight, which is the bad news of tonight. I mean, we just can't get 5 and 17 on the field back together, man. That is just one of the sad realities of this season is that we haven't been able to get these two to play enough football together. And hopefully when 17 gets back, they can build that chemistry back up really quickly. But a really interesting opportunity has arisen now because of the Terry McLaurin injury for former first-round pick and recent free agency addition for the Commanders, Treylon Burks, who will be making his Commanders debut tonight. Remember, this guy was drafted 18th overall in the NFL draft back in 2022, and that was for a reason. You don't see guys move the way Treylon Burks moves at 225 pounds very often. He has pretty darn good hands and can come down with contested catches down the field. He's known as a yak threat, somebody that once he gets that head of steam going, he can be a really, really good football player. And he's had injuries, he's had inconsistencies, he's had poor quarterback play, not giving him opportunities, all that different stuff. Hopefully that all changes with Jayden Daniels throwing him the football. He should get some opportunities tonight. He'll be wearing number 13. I'll be watching him extremely closely. Then we take a look at the inactives. We'll start with Seattle. All right, Cooper Kupp is out for this football game. He is their number 2 wide receiver. Look for Torrey Horton to get those number 2 receiver reps in this ball game. But then you get over to the Commanders side of things. Noah Igbenogany not getting a helmet tonight. Terry McLaurin obviously is out with that injury. Kane Medrano not getting a helmet tonight. Ollie Cahoe is, however, so look for Cahoe to get some playing time here in this football game. And then some of these other guys, Trent Scott, George Fant, kind of guys that we know are usually on the inactives list. But now let's shift over to the offensive ranks for the Seattle Seahawks and talk about what they bring to the table on the offensive side of the ball. And what they bring is a lot of explosiveness, okay? They bring a lot of big plays, and they certainly put up a lot of points. 6th in the league in points per game. They're 3rd in yards per play, so they love their explosive plays. But, when you look at third down offense, they're 27th in the league right now for a reason. And that reason is they like to throw the ball down the field. And if you can force some incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, they're going to be in kind of 3rd and pass situations, and you can get them off the field once they get to 3rd, all right? They really do kind of live and breathe these big-time shots down the field. And if they can't hit them, you can certainly stop this group. They also give the ball away quite a bit, 12 giveaways on the season. So most of them were actually last week. A lot of them were against Houston But just keep that in mind heading into this ball game. Now we can take a look at their scheme breakdown. Mike Macdonald is their head coach. He obviously runs the defensive side of the ball. They run a 4-3 under system here on defense in Seattle. But then on offense, their new offensive coordinator, Clint Kubiak. I got Cliff Kingsbury on the mind, but Kubiak has been excellent for them this year. Really dials up a lot of great play-action shots, and Sam Darnold, their quarterback, is not afraid to throw the ball down the field. And you can take a look at their offensive roster heading into tonight. You've got Sam Darnold as their starting quarterback. He's played some really good football in spurts in this season, and in some spurts, he's not quite as good. He'll put the ball in harm's way at times. All these different things. He doesn't know when to check it down at times, and he holds the ball for some periods of time as well. But then on the offensive line, their left side, very solid. Charles Cross and Gray Zabel, 2 former first-round picks, very solid left side of their own line. But then you're going to have, Oluwatimi and Haynes are actually not starting. I think we haven't upgraded this graphic, unfortunately. But we got Abraham Lucas at right tackle. You've got Jackson Smith-Njigba as their number 1 wide receiver. He is excellent. Cooper Kupp is also out tonight, so fortunately, we didn't update the graphic, but we're just going to take it out. F. Ponzi in the chat, man. But now we can talk about the defense, okay? And their defense is also very good. I would say this is the more consistent group, okay? Whereas the offense really lives and breathes off of big plays. This defense can stop, teams in any situation. Third downs, red zone. They're really good in those 2 areas. They're also number 1 in the league in EPA per rush allowed, so they're really good at stopping the run. They're really good at, keeping a lid on opposing offenses. 3rd in the league right now in yards per play allowed, and they're top 10 in most of the major categories that you look at. So let's take a look at the roster here, what makes this defense so difficult to go up against. You got DeMarcus Lawrence as their Leo. You got Derek Hall as their Sam linebacker. Those are their 2 quote-unquote edge rushers. They're doing a good job this season. Jaron Reed is there 3 techniques, doing a great job this year, one of the better players you probably have never heard of. Then you got Byron Murphy, who is a former first-round pick. Excellent nose tackle, has really broken out this year. And Leonard Williams still playing at a high level at 5 technique. At the off-ball linebacker position, Ernest Jones and Tyrese Knight, they're okay, all right? They're not going to make or break this defense tonight. They're perfectly fine players, good athletes, but certainly not game-changing players whatsoever. And their game changer on this defense really is Devon Witherspoon, and this is going to be another graphic that's wrong, actually, because Nick Emenwari will start over Julian Love, who was put on IR. But you got Devon Witherspoon and Reek Wallen. Get those F. Ponzis in the chat, man. Didn't update the graphics today. But we got Josh Jobs on the other side, on the outside. Watch for Devon Witherspoon to be in the slot, though. But instead of Julian Love, you're going to see Nick Emenwari, who is a really, really good safety or rookie safety that has really shown up here this year. But the first key to victory that I have for you guys today for the Commanders is you got to make Sam Darnold uncomfortable. I mean, we remember what happened to Sam Darnold in the final 2 games of last season when he played the Lions and then the Rams back-to-back to finish the season. They both put pressure on him, and they both were able to shut him down, okay? So if you can put pressure on Sam Darnold, it is more than possible to contain him and kind of contain the deep passing game. And that's really what Darnold is. I would consider him a Tier 3 franchise quarterback. He's a good starter, and if you put good players around him, you can expect to have a very productive product on the field. He's got great arm talent, can push the ball downfield with ease, really whippy arm action. He's great working with play action and under center. He can throw over the middle better than just about any other quarterback in the league, one of the better over-the-middle proficient throwers in the National Football League today. And the mental processing, he can go from 1 to 2 to 3 pretty darn efficiently, but the cons, decision-making, he can put the ball in harm's way at times, all right? He holds the ball typically for a while, okay, because he's big game hunting down the field, trying to get the ball to Jackson Smith-Njigba. Doesn't have the best pocket presence in the world, so if you can put pressure on him, you can definitely make Sam Darnold and make him turn into a pumpkin a little bit here. But you take a look at the advanced numbers, and, pretty darn good. Top 10 in pretty much every single category outside of average time to throw. But when you're as efficient as he is, throwing the ball down the field, I think you can live with that, okay? He's top 5 in adjusted EPA per play. He's first in big-time throw percentage, so his ability to push that ball down the field is really, really special. The Commanders need to take away that deep passing game tonight if they're going to limit the efficiency. And, when it comes to efficiency, Sam Darnold is as good as it gets in the league, over 9 yards per attempt this year. Not only can they get the ball down the field and push the ball downfield for explosive plays, but they can be successful doing it pretty consistently, which certainly is the bread and butter of this Seattle Seahawks offense this year. And a way that you stop the deep passing game is you double Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, I'm not inventing the wheel here, okay? Other teams have tried to double Jackson Smith-Njigba this year, and it hasn't worked because JSN is just that freaking good. So the Commanders are going to have to find ways that work tonight to limit JSN's impact on the football game, bracketing, do dog techniques, which includes a trail with a double over top. You could do a lot of different things to Jackson Smith-Njigba to try and slow him down. But you better believe Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold have a plan tonight to attack this Commanders scheme and try to get the ball to JSN in particular. So the Commanders need to do a good job limiting him. Then you got to capitalize on any mistakes that Sam Darnold or the Seattle Seahawks as a whole present to you. If they are going to muff a punt, you got to get on the football. If they're going to put a ball in harm's way and Sam's going to throw a turnover-worthy throw, you got to get the interception. All right, you got to capitalize on these mistakes. If you're going to beat good football teams like Seattle, when they make mistakes, you have to capitalize. Now, I know this one's probably unrealistic because they're not going to do it. This coaching staff is just too tied to Bobby Wagner, and frankly, with him being the green dot, he's so important to the communication structures of this defense. But I would take Bobby Wagner off the field, point blank. I mean, they made Kane Medrano inactive today. I would have made Bobby Wagner inactive, frankly. And it's just he's too slow. He's going to be exploited out in coverage, and we saw it last week versus Kansas City in the second half. Andy Reid was like, hey, let's just try and get Bobby Wagner manned up against Rashee Rice, and we saw what happened, right? So I think Clint Kubiak, being a smart offensive play caller, probably sees something similar going into this game, and if Bobby Wagner gets significant snaps, I think he's going to get bullied yet again, unfortunately. But then you got to get them to third down. And the way you do that is the things that we talked about, all right? Get incompletions on first and second down because they love to take shots on those early downs. So if you can get them to third down, more often than not, you're going to be able to get them off the field because they're pushing the ball down the field on those early downs. And if they're not completing those, they have a higher rate of third and longs than any other really offense in the league because they're taking big risks on first and second down. Then we get to the offensive side of the ball, and I think in order to win tonight's game, Jayden Daniels needs to be special, and he needs to be, Cincinnati game on Monday Night Football last year level good to be able to beat the Seattle Seahawks. This Seattle defense is legit. It's a top 10 unit in the league. You don't have your number one receiver out there in Terry McLaurin. You're going to have to play great, both with your arm and with your legs. Jayden Daniels will have to be the superstar that we all believe that he is if the Commanders are going to have a shot to win this one. And then also, somebody just has to step up in terms of the weapons here in Washington. You don't have Terry McLaurin out there tonight. And we saw last week with some of the nice catches he made, how important he is to this offense. But you got Treylon Burks. Can he step up tonight? Deebo Samuel's going to be out there. Can he have a big night? Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, can he have a big night on the ground? All these different things. There's certain possibilities for people to step up. But I will also say in the run game, you want to be multiple, okay? And I don't think, just the straight run game is going to be what wins you this ball game because Seattle is so good defending the run. They're number one in the league in EPA per rush allowed. So really good stuff from their run defense. So it can't just be Bill Krosky-Merritt. You got to find creative ways to find extensions of the run game. Use the read option game with Jayden Daniels. Get the ball out to Deebo Samuel in the screen game. Get the ball to Treylon Burks in the screen game tonight. Get creative in the way that you kind of plan your first and second downs to almost not necessarily replace the run game, but supplement it and make the defense think about more things than just Bill Krosky-Merritt in the straight run game. Then some general keys to victory for the team tonight. Limit turnovers. It's always a big key to victory to limit turnovers, but especially for this Commanders team, if you're going up against a playoff caliber team like Seattle, really these games between two good football teams, if the Commanders do in fact play well tonight, usually comes down to who makes less mistakes. And, we saw in the Chicago game on Monday Night Football a couple weeks ago, yes, it was on Monday Night Football a couple weeks ago. You gave the game away to Chicago. You can't do that in this football game. You got to limit those turnovers and then capitalize on the mistakes that Seattle makes in this one. Then the final key to victory is to make the play late. If you actually get this thing to be close in the fourth quarter and you are competitive in all these different things, Jayden Daniels has shown up more than just about any other quarterback over the last 2 years in the fourth quarter. You got to make that play in the fourth to save your season and come away with a dub. Any means necessary. Now we can take a look at the points per game trends here, where the trends would predict that the Seahawks are the clear favorites in this one. 5-point difference there, predicting a 26-21 victory. That's outside the margin of error, which is, by standard there, 3 points. So this is a 5-point deficit, so the trends would clearly predict a Seattle Seahawks victory in this ball game. And that's what I'm going to go with this game, unfortunately, guys. Without Terry McLaurin, with Bobby Wagner likely to get heavy snaps again on defense, I don't know if I have a high level of confidence in this Commanders defense to be able to stop Sam Darnold in one of the most explosive passing games in the league today. I think Jackson Smith-Njigba probably has a big night tonight. No, I would love to be proven wrong. Really, really would love it, okay? Because it means the Commanders season is saved, and the Commanders have a chance to win this ball game or go on a run down the stretch. But I think Sam Darnold in this passing attack is too explosive. I think Clint Kubiak's too good of an offensive play caller to not take advantage of the liability that Bobby Wagner is. And frankly, on offense, I think we'll see some good things tonight, but I also think we'll see some things that frustrate us as well. Unfortunately, I'm going to pick the Commanders to lose their fourth straight game.
And, unfortunately, I got to agree with you here. I mean, I feel like Jayden Daniels coming back will provide a spark. The defense played well last week, but, I mean, the Seahawks team is kind of being underrated. I feel like it's not being talked about a lot, how good they are. And, I mean, it's going to be tough, but, I mean, I really want to be wrong. I really want to win. I think that, if a win like this can turn around the season, I said it last week against the Chiefs, a win like this against a really good playoff team could turn around the season. Get that confidence going. It's
kind of one of those situations, Ponzi, where it's like if you can pull it off, it's huge. And it completely changes the trajectory of your season. But it's also one of those things where it's like, I want to see it before I believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because you've seen 3 straight pretty bad losses, multiple score losses, and now that you're playing a really good 5-2 football team that's pretty well balanced, they're really explosive on both sides of the ball, you just want to see it. The Commanders put it together before you actually have confidence that they will do it, if that makes any sense. Now, I'm certainly going to be rooting for the Commanders tonight. Jayden certainly has a chance to provide a spark, and as we know, when you got Jayden Daniels on your football team, you always have a shot going into any football game you play. If he plays his best football, most likely the Commanders will win. But, the question is, can he play his best football without Terry McLaurin on the field versus a really good Mike McDonald defense? Also, we still don't know if Jayden is feeling 100% off of that hamstring at this point. So, there's just a lot of unknowns, and there's a lot of things that we do know about Seattle, and we know they're a good football team. Right now, I'm not sure if the Commanders are actually a good football team, which is why I'm going to go with Seattle to win this ball game.
Titus and Mark saying we're wrong, but, I mean, I hope we're wrong. I hope we're wrong.
I hope we're wrong, too, man.
I hope it's like 45-20.
So right now, this fan base seems to be pretty split. More than 50% does predict a loss, okay? So we got 26% giving the Commanders a 0 to 25% chance to win. Another 26% are giving the Commanders a 26 to 50% chance to win. 31%, which is the highest, is giving the Commanders a 51 to 75% chance to win. And then only 17% is giving the Commanders a 76 to 100% chance to win. So, listen, man, I'm not going to sit up here and say the Commanders winning this game is impossible, especially when Jayden Daniels is your quarterback. He always gives you a chance. But, I certainly think with the way these two teams are trending heading into this ball game, plus the fact that, Terry McLaurin is not on the field, I hate to say it, man, but I think, there's a good reason why the Seattle Seahawks are favored to win this ball game tonight. But hopefully the Commanders can pull it off, get to 4-5, and hopefully this is the game that kickstarts a playoff, stretch here where this team eventually makes the postseason. I really hope that's the case. I guess we'll find out if that'll be the story on tonight's show. Now, before we get into your super chats, before we get ready for this football game here, which is coming up in about 15 minutes or so, maybe 20 minutes or so, you guys can go to prizepicks.com/CLNS to get your lineup in for tonight's Sunday Night Football action. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing outside, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is super simple to play. Just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play, where even you could win even if one of your picks misses. And if you really know ball and you really want to go all in for the bigger payouts, go for the power play, where you have to get everything right. But if you do, you get massive paydays. No matter what you play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Now you guys can take a look at our lineup here tonight. I'm taking the more on Deebo Samuel receiving yards. I'm hoping he can carry the slack that Terry McLaurin is leaving out there, not being in the lineup tonight. I'm going to go Bill Krosky-Merritt, 1 touchdown. I'm getting $1 bill dance here tonight. Or what is it called? Pay the bill? Or no, I think he called it the dollar bill, right? Yeah, it's the dollar bill celebration. So hopefully we get one of those tonight. And I'm taking the more on Sam Darnold passing yards. Like I said, I think that the Seahawks are going to win this ball game, and I think a big reason for that is Sam Darnold and JSN will probably have a big evening. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the Prize Picks app today. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. So again, guys, you can super chat on today's show if you want to get in on a raffle to win a Jayden Daniels jersey. Do we have any more super chats?
We do.
Okay,
we got to get to those right now.
All right, we're going to get to some super chats here and catch up on these. Again, guys, make sure you get those super chats in throughout the night to get your raffle tickets to win that Jayden Daniels jersey. Brad coming in with a 10. That would be what? That's 3 raffle tickets for Brad.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Brad. You are in on the raffle. Hold My Beer is also in. $5. He says, let's go, boys. Let's go, man.
Let's get a win.
Let's go get a dub. Michael LaRoche with a 10 says, I need a jersey. I lost all my clothes.
How did that happen?
That's crazy, Michael. Hopefully you're not watching us naked right now. Naked. Hopefully you got some clothes on of some kind right now, but $10 for Michael. Best of luck to you, my friend. Maybe we'll get an extra long. Maybe we'll get an extra large for you so you can cover up more than just your shirt. Then we got $20 from Brad Henry, our first $20 super chat of the day. And the first, cry, Eagles, cry, on the road to a defeat. Cry, Eagles, cry, give up a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit 'em low, hit 'em high, and watch those Eagles cry. Cry, Eagles, cry, on the road to a defeat. EAGLES losers! Shout out to Brad for the first $20 super chat on today's show, and every $20 that comes in, we are doing a Cry Eagles Cry song. All right, so big shout out to Brad with the 20. Get some 10 raffle tickets for the jersey tonight.
Let's show them the jersey.
And yeah, we are going to be giving away a Jayden Daniels jersey, courtesy of our friend and benefactor last week. Shaggy put in over $300 in super chats, which means we get to give away this Jayden Daniels Super Bowl era jersey.
Very nice. I forgot my Sean Taylor one at home, so.
Yeah, exactly. So, F. Ponzi in the chat. By the way.
Then again, I did have a really, really stressful weekend.
By the way, can we please send some congratulations Ponzi's way in the chat? He got married this weekend. Big shout out to Ponzi and his now wife. And the happy couple, man. He has to come back to work on Sunday.
Had to go immediately back.
And he's had a long Sunday today, man. So shout out to Ponzi for being with us here on a Sunday right after he got married. So make
Dedication.
sure.
Try to get all that work done. Grind don't stop.
So make sure you guys get those super chats in because we want to party it up here on the Commanders Report this evening. And, of course, we want you to get your raffle tickets in for this Jayden Daniels jersey. $5 enters you into the jersey raffle. Just $5, okay, to win like a jersey that's, what, over $100 easy, maybe $150?
Maybe even $200.
Yeah, who knows? It might be – I can't remember exactly what the price tag is, but – for a limited edition Super Bowl era jersey, this is not a cheap jersey, guys.
No, it is not.
So just $5 to get in. This is a deal that you're not going to want to pass up on. $10, get a couple more entries and increase your odds. $20, You get those 10 tickets, increase your odds even more. Plus, you get a Cry Eagles Cry song for every 20 that comes in. Every $50 that we get, we're going to be doing pickle juice shots. So I got my first pickle juice shot right here. Let me open. Okay.
Go on, Sperry. Got it.
All right, I got it. All right. Pickle juice shot number 1 is on its way. We got to $54.98. Here's to a Commanders hopefully saving their season here this evening.
Let's get it.
Let's go. All right. So if you guys want a free raffle entry to win that Jayden Daniels jersey today, all you have to do is share today's stream on X, and you have to tag Ponzi in the post on X in order to get the free raffle entry. So here are the 4 steps that you guys need to do in order to win the jersey here this evening. Okay? Click the share button, or get a free raffle entry into the raffle, I should say. Click the share button below this video. It's that curved arrow symbol that says share on it. You click the X icon when the menu pops up. You tag Ponzi. This is the most important step, okay? Because if you don't tag Ponzi, at Pon_Xavier1, take a screenshot of your phone right now if you haven't already. Get that handle so that you can post it. And then if you do those 4 steps, you will be entered for free into the Jayden Daniels jersey raffle this evening. So make sure you get those shares in. And we've got... the legend is back!
He's back!
This one's rolling in roll! Shaggy! Bang! Make it rain, Shaggy!
Let's go, Reggie!
$100 super chat says, what's up, baby? Let's go, Commanders. Let's go.
Get it.
Woo! Big shout out to Shaggy, over $300 last week, already getting us started with a 100 piece. Oh man, last week's MVP already off to a fast start.
Might win his own jersey.
Might win his own jersey that he unlocked last week. $5 from Dizzy Spider. He's in on the raffle. Says Commanders 31, Seahawks 24. I hope. Freaking love that, man. I would love it.
Last second drive from JD.
I would love it, man. I really would. Dizzy, I'm certainly hoping you're right, pal.
Patrick saying go Commanders with a $10. Thank you, Patrick.
3 raffle tickets for you, Patrick. We appreciate you. Trying to get a Jayden Daniels Super Bowl era jersey here tonight. That's great stuff, man. Patrick, thank you for watching the show, and thanks for your $10 donation. Now, just a reminder, guys, if you don't have money to super chat on the show today, we still love you, all right? We appreciate everybody that comes and watches our shows every single week, and we want to show you guys some love. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We provide you guys free, informative, and entertaining Commanders coverage every single day on this channel. Also, make sure you guys click that thumbs up icon if you haven't already. The more people that like the stream, the more people will be drawn to the channel because YouTube's going to recommend it, to them. And then if you share today's stream on X, you get a free raffle entry. So make sure you help out the channel today for free, and you can even get on the raffle for free today. You don't even have to donate to have a chance to win a Jayden Daniels jersey. Ponzi, your chances are greatly increased by donating, but you guys can certainly get in on the fun today with absolutely no dollars donated. But we did just pass 48,400 subscribers, so let's give away a free raffle entry right now. Spam those me's in the chat if you want a free raffle entry to win a Jayden Daniels Super Bowl era jersey at the end of today's show. We got No Hose. I can't read that whole thing. Grayson. We got Mark Anderson. Cassie's asking, do they need to tag someone on X? Yes, they have to tag Ponzi.
Yeah.
That is at Pon_Xavier1, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Already got some people going in.
All right, so some people are already tagging Ponzi, so that's great.
Well, drop a follow while you're there.
We got Grayson spamming his me. We've got Mark Anderson. We've got NFL Productions, Jasmine Gray. We've got Saxes. We've got V2 Flyer. We got ZX. Mark Anderson is in here. We've got Michael LaRoche. Come on, who wants the free raffle entry? Let's go. 22 more seconds. I'm going to wait till we get to 10 minutes, and then I'll give away the free raffle entry. Also, we got 277 people watching the live stream already. If we can get to 100 likes before kickoff, we'll give away a free raffle entry as well. So help us out. All right, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give this free raffle entry to Mark Anderson. Mark's always watching the show.
Real one.
And Mark's a real one, man. So he gets the free raffle entry there. But if we can get to 100 likes before kickoff, we'll give away another free raffle entry before the game itself.
Shall we go over the results from Week 9?
You read my mind. Let's go over the results here in Week 9 around the National Football League. The Bears, dramatic win versus the Cincinnati Bengals. Another heartbreaking loss for Cincinnati. They lost to the Jets last week in dramatic fashion in the fourth quarter. Huge comeback for Justin Fields and the Jets. Then this week, it felt like the game was in the bag, and then all of a sudden, Colson Loveland takes it, what was it, 58 yards?
Something like that. It's the most terrible tackling effort I've ever seen.
For a game-winning touchdown, just crazy stuff. There was Bengals players calling out the defense in post-game interviews and all this stuff. It's just not a good situation in Cincinnati right now. Vikings beat the Lions today on the road. Nobody expected J.J. McCarthy, I think, to go in there and upset the Lions, but they did that. Vikings defense played really well today as well. And McCarthy made the plays needed to be able to get the win. So kudos to them. Then the Panthers upset the Green Bay Packers. The upsets keep coming here as
continues.
The Packers have worn. I mean, I think I saw something on Twitter where every single team that has worn a brown helmet has lost. So maybe stop with the poop helmets. Maybe just a suggestion. But the Panthers get a win in Lambeau, 16-13. Broncos barely pull off a win versus C.J. Stroud and the Texans.
Well, C.J. Stroud got out.
He got hurt?
Yeah, he left the game with a concussion.
Oh, man, C.J. Hopefully he's going to be okay. But that's tough for the Texans. 5 field goals for them, no touchdowns. Broncos end up storming back in the fourth quarter to win that one. And now they are tied for first place in the AFC.
And if it wasn't for a weird leverage call...
Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't for a weird leverage call that made them lose to the Colts, they would be the number one seed in the AFC with just one loss to this point. But then you got the Patriots barely squeaking out a win versus the Falcons. Falcons nearly got themselves back, and then I think they missed an extra point that would have tied the game. So that is just
I believe also
that's an embarrassing loss. Yeah. That is an embarrassing loss for Atlanta. Then you get 49ers beating the Giants, 34 points against that putrid Giants defense.
Another player suffered a torn ACL.
Yeah, another player. Who was this?
Mykel Williams.
Oh yeah, it was Mykel Williams, man. That sucks for him. The Steelers pulled off the upset. They kind of spanked the Colts' ass today, honestly.
6 turnovers.
6 turnovers for the Steelers. Daniel Jones did not play well today. Jonathan Taylor under 50 yards rushing. And honestly, the Steelers' offense didn't play all that well. The story of the game was just the Steelers' defense coming alive in this one. Just added Kyle Duggar this week. He made a big difference. And then the Chargers squeak out a win in Nashville versus Tennessee, but they lose Joe Alt, and they're thinking it's another high ankle sprain for him, and they're thinking he's going to have to get a procedure done on it, so he's going to be out another number of weeks, which might end the Chargers' season. Because listen, man, that team was very bad when he was out.
Yes.
And if he's out another 4 to 6 weeks or however long this injury is going to be, that could be enough weeks of poor football to just kill their season. So hopefully Alt can get back on the field soon. Football's better when its best players are on the field, and Alt is certainly one of those players. But unfortunately, that's just not the way that the cookie crumbled. Crazy finish to the Raider game in Vegas today. The Jaguars were up. The Raiders drive down the field to tie it with a touchdown, but they had the choice to go for 2 and win it or take the extra point. They decided to go for 2, and Geno Smith in classic Geno Smith fashion this year and in classic Raiders fashion this year, they fuck it up on the final play of the game, of course. Go ahead.
I'm not going to discredit for the Raiders for going for 2. You're pretty bad right now. You're trying to pull it off upset against the Jaguars. Go for 2. But, Geno Smith got the ball. It wasn't even a chance to convert.
It was deflected.
Yeah, so it just got deflected at the line of scrimmage.
100%. 34-10. Rams spanked that ass today in L.A. Tyler Shuck might not be it. That team stinks, but that was bad. And then the Bills, of course, continue to have the Chiefs' number in the regular season. How about you beat them in the postseason though, pals? 28-21, the final there in Buffalo, and we'll see if they have yet another postseason matchup when we get to January. Got a couple more super chats to get to here as we get to 5-minute warning here before the start of this one in Washington. The Cheese Master wants 3 raffle tickets. It's Jaworski Krosky Merritt or Bam Knight for fantasy. Love the streams. Keep it up. Congrats, Ponzi.
Appreciate it.
I mean, I would go with Jaworski Krosky Merritt.
Yeah, I mean, I'm starting him.
I'm starting Bill tonight.
Although I'm also starting Sam Darnold.
And we'll see. But $5 from Dizzy, another raffle entry for him. Says Ponzi just gave up half the Chat Sports fortune unless he got the prenup. Congrats, Ponzi.
No, I'm not giving up half of it because we're going to stay married. That's
exactly. Yeah. And they're going to stay married forever, man. Like that's the way it's going to go. So we don't even need it, right?
Exactly.
So shout out to Dizzy. $50. This one's rolling in from Shaggy. Bang! Make it rain, Shaggy. He says, we need D to show the hell up today. I don't want this season to be over. Nobody does. But with Jedi, 5 in the game, there's a chance there will be, or we will, there's a chance we will win this game because we don't have a choice not to. I love it, Shaggy. Well,
let's get a win.
Listen, man, whenever you got Jayden Daniels on the field healthy, you got a chance to win that football game. I don't care who you have around him. That's how good of a player he is. And if the Commanders defense can get going a little bit here and play some better football this week, hopefully Bobby Wagner can hold up, or maybe they just get him off the field more. Jordan McGee has played really, really well. Of course, you got Traylon Burks. We'll see what we get out of him tonight.
Hopefully he does pretty good.
He's certainly somebody that can roll after the catch, and he can make some tough catches down the field as well. He's never really played with a good quarterback. He's played with guys like Ryan Tannehill, Will Levis. He's been hurt a lot. He hasn't had a lot of true opportunities, if you ask him, to really prove himself. And tonight could be an excellent opportunity in front of a national audience.
Coaching staff was raving about him.
Yeah, coaching staff was raving about him this week. I mean, you would think he was the second coming of Jesus Christ with the way they were talking about Traylon Burks this week, all right? So I'm excited to see the young man play. We'll see what he can do tonight. We'll see how much of a role he has. He's been with the team a couple of weeks, so I'm guessing he's picked up the playbook, all that stuff. But, plain and simply, man, the season's on the line tonight. And, the season is on the shoulders of Jayden frickin' Daniels. And if he can put it together tonight, save the season, who knows? The Commanders might even trade for an edge rusher before Tuesday's deadline. Maybe they'll end up trading for maybe a wide receiver or something. Maybe, who knows what they're going to do, all right? But if they win tonight, I think that there's a chance they could buy an edge rusher. But if they lose, I think it's going to be fire sale time. It's going to be, possibly Deron Payne, Deebo Samuel, Andrew Wiley, any combination of those guys could be dealt for the right price if the Commanders lose tonight. So we got a $20 super chat here from John Masood. Let's go, man. $20 says, hail to the Redskins, hail Jack Sperry, Cassie Voth, hail Ponzi. No raffle tickets for moi. Give one to Jasmine Gray. We'll give all of the 21, so that's what, 10?
Yep.
Well, yeah, we'll give all 10 to Jasmine Gray. Jasmine, you are in on the raffle tonight, courtesy of John Masood. Big shout out to John.
Got 1 minute. I mean, these Super Bowl era jerseys, let's get some momentum going with them.
We can't lose in these jerseys,
Come
folks.
on, it's too drippy.
I don't care if Bobby Wagner can't run. We can't lose in these jerseys.
Let's hope Bobby Wagner reverts to the past.
By the way, we just got to 100 likes. Let's give away a free raffle entry. Actually, instead of me, type WAS here. If you want the Commanders to win this ball game, if you want to pump us up here before we kick things off in Landover, spam those WASs for a free raffle entry if you want the Commanders to win tonight. We got Dizzy. We got V2 Flyer. We got Landon. Shaggy coming in with another super chat. Got Mark Anderson. Patrick Spong, Kiana, Angie, got Michael, Gret, the noob, Caesar Holmes. We got Deadmass. We've got Gret Fesky, NFL Productions. Keep them coming. 30 more seconds. We're going to go to the end of the countdown to kickoff here. Let's go. We got Mike, Jasmine, Dill, Renell, Keep them coming. Keep them coming. We got almost 400 people in this chat right now, ready to watch some Commanders football. We got Jaquias. We got Keanu. We got Ryan. Got John, Mike, Grayson, the noob, Rennell, JJ. Come on, 3, 2, 1. I'm going to give one to Caesar Holmes. And that's the only one we're giving away right now. So shout out to Caesar. All right, man. Let's get to the next super chat. This one's rolling in from Shaggy Bag. Make it rain, Shaggy. Let's go. And we're already over the $250 mark. We're giving away another Jayden jersey next week. Let's go. Shaggy with another 50, man. Already the MVP of the show. Unless somebody usurps him, but he's already off to a fast start. And now we're getting ready to kick things off in Landover. And I'm trying to see here if the Commanders are receiving or kicking here. Oh, yeah, I guess it's going on right now. Melissa Stark is interviewing Jayden Daniels. This, I don't know, man. I know I picked the Seahawks to win. I got a little bit of a feeling this is gonna be a Jayden Daniels night. This is gonna be like a special Jayden Daniels kind of game.
In the Super Bowl throwbacks?
All I'm saying, man.
On Sunday night primetime, man. Like I got a feeling, man, that I know I picked Seattle to win. I'm kind of playing both sides where I picked Seattle to win, but now I'm saying I think the Commanders could win tonight. But, like, I don't know, man. I'm getting this weird feeling that Jayden Daniels might just light it up here. Let's go, man. Let's go. Type those WASs if you want the Commanders to win this ball game. And it looks like they're sending out some former Redskins players out to help with the coin toss. That's pretty cool. So I'm guessing Seattle won the toss then. So Seattle won the toss, I'm guessing, and probably elect to defer. So we will see Jayden Daniels in the Commanders' offense first. All right, man. Hopefully we can get out to an early lead here to start this game off right. And if you want the Commanders to win, get those WASs in the chat. Jason Myers is setting up. It'll be Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane back deep to receive in those beautiful Super Bowl era jerseys as the fireworks are going off at Northwest Stadium. Ready to kick things off in this beautiful aesthetic matchup here. The old school throwbacks for both teams, and we are underway in Maryland. And it's going to be fielded at the 6 by Luke McCaffrey, who's been excellent this season, but this time he's only going to get to the 26 before he's dragged down. And it looks like he might be a little bit banged up. Let's see if Luke gets up. I think he's fine. He got smacked to the ground. All right, man, let's see what this offense can do. They go out there with Deebo Samuel, Chris Moore, and it looks like Jalen Lane is the 3 receivers. No Traylon Burks to start, but Jayden will start in pistol. Bill the back, and they're going to go play action, roll it to the left. Now Jayden looking to run. Changes directions extremely quickly. He'll pick up about 3 on the first down carry. We're 2nd down and 7 here. Guys, make sure you click that subscribe button if you're watching us for the first time. We go live for every single Commanders game. What's that? Oh, Washington won the toss and elected to receive. Okay. Shotgun here, 2-by-2 formation. Jayden looking, nothing there on his first read. Now he has to maneuver the pocket. He breaks away from a couple tackles. He'll pick up another 2 or 3. And it will set up a 3rd down and manageable for Washington, trying to avoid a 3-and-out here. Again, guys, make sure you click that subscribe button. We're going to be live for every single Commanders game this year. Pre-game coverage, live play-by-play and analysis, followed by post-game coverage every single time. Trying to get to 50,000 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. So if you can help us get to 49,000 by the end of the night, that would be absolutely fantastic. Now Jayden will go shotgun. McNichols is the back beside him. Takes the snap. Jayden looking. He's got plenty of time. Now he's rolling out to his right. He throws on the run. It's caught. That is Zach Ertz for the 1st down. He'll get to the 40-yard line, and the Commanders will move the chains, avoiding a 3-and-out here on the first drive of the game. No, Luke McCaffrey heading to the locker room. I thought I saw him get injured. I saw him get hurt. So heading to the locker room, not great. I'm guessing that's a shoulder with the way he was thrown to the ground. And that's your kick return man right there. Yeah, and he's had some nice plays as of late. 1st down and 10 now. They put Jayden under center. Multiple tight ends. They send Jalen Lane in motion left to right. It's going to be play action, roll out to the right. Nothing there. Jayden makes one-man miss. Now he's throwing it out of bounds. Oh, now it's tipped up in the air and incomplete. I think Jayden tried throwing that out of bounds, but didn't get enough mustard on it, and it was tipped up in the air by John Bates. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Dangerous play from JD. Be 2nd down and 10. Come on now, Jayden. Shotgun here for Jayden. 3-by-1 to the left. He's going to throw a quick screen to Deebo Samuel. Gets a block. Runs over a man. He'll pick up another 3 or 4. Flag on the play. Could this be a legal man downfield on the screen? I kind of doubt it, but see what the flag is. Personal foul on the Commanders. It'll be 15 yards and replay 2nd down. Tyler Biadasz, I think it was a chop block. Yeah, blindside block, my mistake, on Nwosu. I think that's such a, I don't know. I think that's bullshit right there. I think that's just regular physical football, man. But 2nd down and 25 now. Definitely puts the Commanders in a tough bind here. Probably going to have 2 pretty decent pickups here to even have a shot. Just trying to get into that 3rd down and maybe like 10 to 12 range here probably. Shotgun Jayden will take the snap. He's got time in the pocket. Now he's running out. He rolls out to the right, still looking. He's looking to run, and he's going to pick up maybe 4 yards on the run. There's nothing open downfield for Washington to start this game. How many times has Jayden already pulled it to run? There's just nothing open for him. And, this offense, you can just tell every time Terry McLaurin's not on the field. I mean, this is what we warned about. When people said, let's trade Terry McLaurin or, let's get rid of him or, call his bluff and not pay him. Like, if we would have missed him the entire season, like the same result would have happened. It just so happens now that we've paid him, he gets hurt. But Terry McLaurin's a big part of this offense, and we're missing him right now. Empty formation. Jayden takes the snap, has to maneuver the pocket. Will throw downfield, but it's caught well short of the sticks by Zach Ertz. The Commanders will have to punt with no points. And, nothing much you can really ask for there. 3rd down and what was it, 21? It's just there's not a whole lot of scenarios unless there's a penalty on the defense where you're going to pick it up. So Commanders won the toss and elected to receive to try and probably get some positive momentum, but it's not going to work out that way. And now Tressway will punt this thing away. Looks like a damn good punt. It's going to be fair caught at the 9. Great punt from Tressway. And the Seahawks will have a long field to start this one. Hopefully the defense can show up. Now, the thing about Seattle is that they can flip a field very quickly. They are very explosive. Sam Darnold is number 1 in the league in yards per attempt. He's also number 1 in the league in big-time throw percentage. This is a big play Seattle Seahawks offense. And if the Commanders want a shot to win, stop them on first and second down, frankly, because that's going to lead to third and longs, which, can lead to getting them off the field. But first and second down, stopping the passing game on those early downs is going to be crucial for this Commanders team. Another 20 from today's MVP so far. Shaggy says, "Got to get me that jersey, fam, but got to split. See y'all." All right, Shaggy, we'll see you later, man. Hopefully you can win this one, pal. Exactly. But shout out to Shaggy. Liberty says Kingsbury already calling some BS. I mean, you had a 15-yard personal foul on a second down. I don't know how Kingsbury's supposed to scheme around that.
I mean, honestly, it was kind of a bullshit call too.
And it's like, there's only so much Cliff can do scheme-wise if his guys aren't getting open. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have a lot of pure route runners on the team. Deebo Samuel. Debo, yeah, I thought Robbie Chosen ran some really good routes a couple weeks ago. Hasn't gotten a helmet since. I don't get it.
And you're putting in, you gave Traylon Burks a helmet today.
Yep.
I mean,
didn't get a target.
Gotta switch up something,
Well, I mean, the thing about Burks is that he's so similar to Debo from a play style perspective. Neither of them is like a route running technician. And when you got Burks out there, you got Debo, you got a tight end in Zach Ertz, and then you got Jalen Lane. And Lane, he can run some nasty double moves, but he's had a drop issue. I just don't know what you expect Jayden to do when these guys can't get open versus man coverage. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what you expect Cliff to do, trying to get these guys schemed open when they're seeing a bunch of man coverage and nobody's getting open.
Yeah.
So, this is why this team misses Terry McLaurin so much. And this is why I picked Seattle to win this game, and why I said that there was going to be some, there's going to be some frustrations on the offensive side of the ball in this game.
Yeah.
So here we go. First defensive possession for the Commanders defense. We'll see how they perform. I will say that I thought that they gave a lot of fight last week, and that's admirable. But obviously, you still give up, a bunch of points in the second half, and you end up getting your ass beat. So let's see what they can do here. 5-man front for Washington. They got a condensed bunch out to the right. Now they send a man in motion. Toss play out to Kenneth Walker out to the right, and he's going to pick up a very solid gain of 6 or 7 on the first down carry. And perimeter runs have been a big issue for the Commanders defense this year because, frankly, one of their linebackers, Bobby Wagner, does not have enough sideline-to-sideline speed, and it consistently puts them out of position to make plays versus those perimeter runs. Now they go empty with Darnold. They got a bunch out to the right with 2 receivers out wide to the left. Takes the snap, looking for the quick slant, and it's going to be caught. Good coverage from Trey Amos, but that is caught by number 15, Torrey Horton, the rookie out of Colorado State. With Cooper Kupp out of the lineup, you're going to be looking Horton's way quite a bit, especially when JSN gets doubled. Now under center, lots of bodies in the box for the Commanders. They're going to send in Jigba in motion. They're going to hand it to him on the jet sweep, and they get blockers on the outside. Once again, the Commanders can't set an edge. It's going to be about at least 9 yards, maybe 10. And a successful jet sweep for Seattle as they're already moving on offense to start this game. So once again, slow feet, slow players. And, of course, Jackson Smith and Jigba is the guy that you got to really contain in this ball game. Now under center, offset I formation for Darnold. He's going to go play action, roll out to the right. He'll throw to the flat, open, and that is caught by Horton for a gain of around 5. So already, now there's a flag. There's a chop block there on the offense. And that's a personal foul, so that's going to be the 15-yard penalty on Seattle. Hopefully that stalls their drive the same way it stalled the Commanders' drive. And that's a pretty clear chop block right there on Eddie Goldman. Man, this is just an elite uniform game. The old school Seattle with the silver helmets, the old school Commanders, classic Redskin style unis. It's just awesome, dude. It's just, yeah, Ponzi says just switch the helmet. Shotgun here. 3 receivers set for Seattle. He cans the play at the line. He'll take the snap. He's looking. He's got time in the pocket. He'll throw middle, open in the middle of the field. Jackson Smith-Njigba runs a little bit after the catch, gets down to the 38-yard line, gets a decent chunk of it back. This Commanders defense just looks soft to start this game, man. Got about 700 people in the chat. Thank you guys for watching the Commanders Report watch party here for Sunday Night Football. And now Seattle will go out and trips right with a single receiver and Njigba out to the left. And they've got Lattimore on Njigba, and he's playing off coverage. Looking for the quick slant. It's caught, and now flag, false start on Seattle. No, did I say slant? I meant screen. My fault.
I was more referring to Kenneth Walker looking like he was about to throw.
Oh. Abraham Lucas, the right tackle, moved early. It'll be another 5 yards and already 20 penalty yards on this set of downs for Seattle.
Lucas, of course, wearing the old shoulder pad neck brace.
Oh, yeah. Looking like the great Boz out there. So 2nd down and 17. It's crazy that they've had 20 yards of penalty yardage, and it's only 2nd and 17. Shotgun here for Darnold. He's going to make a change at the line. And Njigba in the backfield beside Darnold along with Charbonnet. He's going to take the snap. Darnold's looking for Njigba. He's open, and he's going to pick up a good 15 yards or so. It's going to be 3rd down and manageable. What a fucking soft defense this is. It's unacceptable. 20 yards of penalty yardage on this drive alone, on this set of downs alone from Seattle. And they have the only plays that they've actually gotten off are 2 just huge plays. And now they're looking at a 3rd and very manageable, 3rd and short, in fact. Just keeping the success rate up, even on 2nd down and 17, Ponzi. It's not many times you can say that. They go empty here with Darnold. Spread formation. He'll take the snap. Commanders send 4. Darnold's looking for the quick option. He will throw middle. It is caught. Check down option as A.J. Barner loses the ball, but he's going to get it. So they're going to say no incompletion. It's going to be catch, fumble, and recovered by Seattle. And now Barner is limping off the field. Hopefully he's okay. But Seattle, despite pretty much being down 1st and 30, picks up a 1st down. That stings, man. You don't disturb. You should just give the points to Seattle right now if you can't stop them in that situation. Hand off to Kenneth Walker. Once again, no edge from the Commanders' defense, and it's an easy 14, 15-yard pickup. 1st down, Seattle. There's just no fight. Can't set an edge. Everybody is it's just so easy, man. Bobby Wagner doesn't have enough sideline speed to catch him. Now they go I formation. And it's going to be handoff up the middle. Walker, he'll pick up another 6. Another successful 1st down run for Seattle. Unless you stop the run, they're going to keep doing it. So just the way it is. Jacob Martin wearing the sunglasses in the intros, dude. Legendary. Who's going to come up and make a play? Who's going to make a play here for the Commanders?
The fact that Bobby Wagner is ranked PFF 8 is a disgrace.
Well, PFF loves Bobby Wagner.
I don't get it.
They love him. He's terrible.
Don't get it.
Under center. It's going to be handoff Walker, and once again, he's going to fight forward, and he'll get about, I'd say, 3. Be 3rd down and 1 coming up. Another successful play for Seattle. I mean, how many times have they – what is their success rate in this game? 92%? What's that? For success rate? It's the same. So on first down, you have to get to 2nd down and 6. When you're at 2nd down, you have to get to 3rd and 3 or first down. Now, looks like false start on Seattle. They tried going tush push, but they left early. You know, how about you call it on Jalen Hurts? How about that? Yeah, just multiple members of the Seattle offensive line left early.
7 of the 8 plays successful.
Of course. Like I said, probably over 80, 90% success rate right now for Seattle. They're just marching right down the field. 3rd down and 5 here. Here's a chance to stop them to a field goal. That'd be huge. Darnold takes the snap. They send pressure. He has to throw quickly. It's caught by Kenneth Walker, and he can't stay on his feet, but he'll pick up first down yardage. He'll be down at the 11-yard line. No, they're going to say he's down at the 13. So now they're inside the Prize Picks red zone. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Commanders sent cover 0 there. Quan Martin was responsible for the back out of the backfield. Just not putting your guys in position to succeed. Because Martin is in a safety alignment deep down the field. You're asking him to guard a running back who's lining up in the backfield. It's just, there's not a whole lot of scenarios there where that's going to work out. That's just bad defensive game planning right there. Play action. Darnold will throw end zone. Good coverage. Incomplete. Flag on the play by Lattimore. I think this is bad. This is probably a bad call. I'll have to see the replay, but on my first watch, I thought that was just good defense. Lattimore had a big bounce back week last week. Did he hold him? He's holding his arm. Yeah. Okay, good call. I didn't see. I was looking for the jersey pull. He didn't grab his jersey, but he did hold his arm back, preventing him from trying to make the catch. So Lattimore with the DPI sets up 1st and goal, and honestly, man, this drive just seems destined for a touchdown. It's just this defense is unwatchable. So they're going to be spotted at the 3-yard line is where they're going to say the defensive pass interference happened. Now Darnold under center. It'll be a handoff, and it'll be tackled in the backfield. So loss of 1 on the 1st down and goal carry. Good job by Jeremy Reeves to get into the backfield. Had a good game last week. And there's a non-successful play for Seattle. There we go. Progress. Of course, I clap sarcastically. So now under center at the 4-yard line. 2 receivers set, 2 tight ends out there for Seattle. He'll take the snap. He'll go play action, roll out to the left. Darnold looks end zone, and it is caught. Torrey Horton flag on the play. And I think Marshawn Lattimore's looking for the OPI. But let's see what it is. Seattle's still celebrating. Pass interference on Lattimore again. It didn't matter. He still caught it. Touchdown, Seattle. I mean, how could that defensive drive be any worse, man? No, I don't think they call it. Is that what they called it on? I'm pretty sure they called it on Lattimore, no? I know Lattimore wanted a push-off. He didn't get it. But The result is Seattle touchdown. And the field goal attempt was the PAT attempt was nearly blocked, but it ends up getting off, and it's a make. 7-0 Seattle early on in Landover. Now, the Commanders may suck, but you know what doesn't suck? Our sponsor at Prize Picks. And the hard-hitting football action is just getting started in professional football this year, and it's even better when you join our friends at Prize Picks today. It's a free app on your phone you can download today, and the weather might be changing outside, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on with Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is super simple to play, guys. You just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play where you can get you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the power play. No matter how you play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Today, Ponzi and I took the more on Deebo Samuel receiving yards. Certainly not there yet. Taking the more on Bill Krosky-Merritt touchdowns and the more on Sam Darnold passing yards. Hey, at least the Darnold one is well on its way. So download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup with Prize Picks today. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Just a reminder, guys, we are giving away a Jayden Daniels jersey tonight. $5 gets you in, $10 gets you 3 raffle tickets, $20 gets you 10 tickets, plus a Eagles Cry song. $50, we'll do pickle juice shots, $250 jersey raffle next week. So today, like I said, a Super Bowl era Jayden Daniels jersey is what's on the line here. I just don't get why this team continues to play Bobby Wagner, man. And I don't understand why they don't just use Frankie Louvu as a defensive end. They keep putting him out in coverage. I don't get it. Oh, man. $2 from Light says, can we stop playing Wagner and Louvu in coverage? That's what I just said, man. Like these two guys are just terrible in coverage and just leaves the middle of the field so wide open. And then when you tack on top of that Marshawn Lattimore with 2 DPIs, I mean, dude, they had 20 yards of penalties on one set of downs. It's essentially 1st and 30, and they still picked up the first. That's a fucking joke. Kick is away. It's going to be fielded in the end zone and need in the end zone. So Commanders will have the football at the 35. Decent field position. Treylon Burks was back there with Luke McCaffrey in the locker room. And now McCaffrey has been downgraded to out. And it's a shoulder injury. That's not good. That feels like broken shoulder to me. Broken collarbone, maybe. Man, and that sucks for Luke because he had a couple really nice catches last week. He was awesome, and he's been awesome for this team in kick return all season long. He's been honestly one of the better parts of this Commanders team is his kickoff return stuff, but that sucks losing him, man. 1st down and 10 here. They'll go shotgun with Daniels. Trips right. He'll take the snap. He will hand it off to Bill Krosky-Merritt. Not much push. He'll pick up 2 yards. Just feels like more of the same so far, Ponzi. Just feels like more of the same so far. Offense struggles because you can't stretch the field because Terry McLaurin's not out there and no one's scared of this passing offense. Can't get enough push on the run game. Defense can't stop a nosebleed. Pistol formation, play action. Jayden has time, steps up in the pocket, nobody open, has to run for it, and he's going to pick up, I'd say, around 6 or 7. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up. Yep, nobody open downfield. It's just, tuck and run. I think that's like the 5th time Jayden has had to just pull it and just run. Now it's 3rd down and 2, trying to avoid a 3 and out. 3 receivers on the field and Ertz. 2-by-2 formation, spread. Jayden looking, nothing there on his first read, then throws it outside. Got to make a tough catch. Ertz makes the tough catch. Let's go. Flag on the play. And we'll see if this is coming back, but on the field, it is a 1st down for the Commanders and a nice tough catch for Zach Ertz. Tough coverage from Nick Emenwari, the rookie out of South Carolina. Holding on the defense is what the call is, and they will accept the penalty. 1st down, Washington. And they're gonna say it's Nick Emenwari. I thought holding was 5. I'm an idiot then. Emenwari didn't let Ertz get out of his break. So now the Commanders have it at the 33. Under center is Jayden. Now it's going to be a toss play to Bill, and he's going to try and fight his way forward. He'll get a decent pickup here, around 3 yards. And slowly but surely, the Commanders try and move their way down the field, trying to answer after the defense gives up, just a pathetic performance on the first drive of the game. How long was that Seattle drive? It had to be like 9 minutes. It felt like it took forever. Under center, Daniels will go toss play again. The Bill, he's going to find a crease on the outside. He's going to try to make a man miss, tries to spin. He'll pick up, I'd say, around, 4 yards. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up. Once again, the drive in jeopardy, but you do have a 3rd and manageable situation here. Yeah, so the Seahawks had the ball for 8 minutes and 7 seconds on their first drive. So that took a big chunk out of this first quarter. Now 3rd down and 1. They're going to hand it off to Bill. No, Jeremy McNichols. No push at the line. They don't get it. This offensive line has just been so bad over the last month, man. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. And now Dan Quinn has a decision to make coming out of the first. Do you go for it and risk giving the ball to Seattle on your own side of the field, or do you punt it away? Honestly, I'm thinking about going for this, Ponzi. I have no trust in the Commanders stopping the Seattle offense, even with a long field. I think your best chance right now is to go for this, try to pick it up on 4th and 1, and try and keep the drive alive. I think that might be the biggest. Like, listen, man, the defense has always had its struggles. They even had its struggles last year. I think the big difference in the Commanders over the last month is the run game and the offensive line play. First 5 weeks of the year, man, this is the best run game in the league, arguably. This was one of them, at least. Top 3. Bill Krosky-Merritt was one of the more efficient backs in the league. And over the last month, man, you've played some bad run defenses. It's not like the Cowboys and the Bears and the Chiefs are good run defenses. They're just not. They're below average run defenses. And you haven't been able to get shit on them. Any of them. Now, you're going up against Seattle, who has literally the best run defense in the league according to EPA per play. And it's more of the same. But listen, man, it's kind of more expected for this game. But like I said going into this game, you're not going to be able to just straight run the football. You're going to have to get creative with the ways that you look to, get those easy yards on 1st and 2nd down. And I haven't seen too many of those ways utilized. I haven't seen the read option game with Jayden Daniels. I haven't seen.
It's not like he hasn't been running.
Yeah, exactly. And Jayden's been running, but it's been scrambles, right? I've seen one screen in this game, and it was called back because of a personal foul.
Yeah. So
I can't say I've loved the game plan from Cliff today, and you guys know, I'm a Cliff guy. I think that he's a pretty darn good OC, but, I thought his game plan last week was a lot better than this week's. Hell of a lot better so far.
Yeah, it's just a little Man, I
But
don't know.
we're back in Landover. Let's see what the decision is from Dan Quinn, and it looks to me like they're keeping the offense on the field, which I think is the right call.
I mean, you're not gonna
Like,
stop
like
them.
listen, man. Like this defense, you just can't rely on this defense to win you ball games. You just can't. You gotta put it in the hands of Jayden Daniels and hope that he executes. Last week versus Kansas City, fourth downs in the first half really stymied their offensive production in the first half, which is why they ended up with just 7 points for the entire game, because their offense definitely petered out in the second half. But here we go, fourth down and inches. They go under center with Jayden. I don't love that. I'd want him in the shotgun. Play action, roll out to the right. Jayden has to dump it off. It's caught by John Bass, first down, gets past midfield down to around the 49, 48-yard line. And listen, man, if there's any quarterback in the league that just gets you a play when you absolutely need to get a play, it's Jayden Daniels, and he did it again right there.
He's different.
I'd say pretty decent play design there by Cliff, getting Jayden on the run, giving him a couple options, but Bates gets open on the pressure from Seattle, who he knew was going to be bailing out to defend the run. Now first down and 10. They're going to go pop past the Debo. He's got blockers. Come on, Debo, go! And he's going to pick up about 8.
There we go.
And there's the creativity that I've been wanting. Get the ball to pop passes, orbit motions, get the ball to screens. You know, you're not going to be able to just run the football on this Seattle team. Their front is too good. Now, Josh Jobe, their number 2 outside corner when they're in nickel, is on the ground injured. Hopefully he's okay. And he's holding his head. I think that they're evaluating him for a concussion right here. And did he get hit in the head? Oh, yeah. His friendly fire here. That's Okada, the backup safety that's replacing one of the backup safeties that's replacing Julian Love. Hit him right in the noggin, and they've taken away his helmet. So he's in concussion protocol right now. That's going to bring on number 27 for that's going to be, well, Tariq Woolen is already a starter for them, but he's back out there.
I mean, whoever's replacing him, target him.
Ty Okada, one of their safeties. Remember, this Seattle defense lives in 3 safeties. Now under center, second down and 1 at the Seahawks 39. They're going to send Debo in motion. It's going to be a toss play to Bill, trying to get something, and he gets nothing. And once again, this offensive line just gets absolutely fucked up the ass.
No push whatsoever, man.
It's a loss of at least 1. It'll be third down and still manageable, but, I mean, just no push at all. It's like, you know, and Tunsil, who's playing with, who's questionable coming into this game with a hamstring injury, just gets his ass beat right there on the edge. And now it's going to be third down and 2. My guess is this is still 4-down territory. Matt Gay is back this week, just so you guys know. Got a condensed bunch out to the left with a single receiver and a nasty split out to the right. Tried to go Debo on the right, nothing there. Flag on the play. This will be offensive holding, but Jayden will take it and slide down with a first. But this is going to be brought back for a third and very long coming up. Can't have penalties on third down. Just can't. Face mask on the offense. And it's going to be even worse. It's instead of a 10-yard penalty, it's a 15-yard penalty, and that's on Chris Paul, the left guard. Jesus fucking Christ, this offensive line is terrible. We're only 10 subscribers away from giving away a free raffle entry and just the most obvious face mask penalty of all time on Chris Paul. He's literally reaching out and grabbing the face mask. What the fuck are we doing, Chris? Get Brandon Coleman in there. Third and 17. Let's see if Jayden can put something together here. Takes the snap. They send pressure. Jayden's got to get rid of it. He just lofts it up in the air, out of bounds. Oh, is it intercepted? It's caught by Okada. They're saying it's a catch and intercepted. Jayden tried throwing it away, I think, and it just didn't get there. And that's going to be an interception, Seattle ball. And not only do they they don't even get to punt that. Now, did he get both feet in? There's one. Oh, somehow he got that second one in. That's a great catch by Okada. Oh, but did that hand get out of bounds first is the question. They're going to go to commercial, and we'll find out. But either way, the Commanders are going to be giving the ball back to Seattle. That's pretty tough, man. It's not tough. Our friends at Prize Picks, man, they're pretty awesome. And the hard-hitting football action is even better this professional football season. With our friends at Prize Picks, you can download their app today for free on your phone. And the weather might be changing outside, guys, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more than or less than on at least 2 player stat projections. And if you get your picks right, you could cash in. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you really know ball and you want to go for the bigger payouts, go with the power play. No matter how you play, though, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes up to the test. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app today. Pick the more on Deebo Samuel receiving yards today. He's got a couple, but certainly needs to get going. Taking the more on Bill Krosky-Merritt rushing touchdowns. I'm just hoping they score any touchdown at this point with the way the offense has looked through the first 2 drives. And I'm taking the more on Sam Darnold passing yards. And if the first drive is any indication, that's going to be an easy hit for me. So download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the Prize Picks app today. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. So we're 3 subscribers away, guys. We got daily coverage of the Washington Commanders. If things keep going the way they're going, Commanders will be 3-6, and my guess is they will probably be shopping players at the deadline by Tuesday afternoon. And if that's the case, we'll have you covered with breaking news coverage if and when Deebo Samuel, Daron Payne, Andrew Wiley get traded in the days to come. So they reviewed it, and they did say that Okada's second foot got down before his hand did. And I'd love to know what Jayden's thought process was. I think he might have been trying to throw it away, but he gets hit as he's throwing it, so it doesn't quite have the juice to get out of bounds. So Seattle takes over at the 40 instead of having the chance to pin him deep. That sucks. And now Darnold will start under center. Multiple tight end set, play action, roll out to the left. Darnold will throw on the run, wide open. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Gain of 20, first down Seattle. And, it's always easy to say in your pregame show, contain Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's a lot harder to actually do it, especially with the play-action passing game that this team runs here in Seattle. Handoff to Charbonnet, and they're going to get a nice play here by Eddie Goldman. Brings him down in the backfield, probably a loss of a half a yard. It's going to put him behind the sticks, at least for now. Now they put in Jigba back in the game, so we're fucked. Two high safeties for Washington. Shotgun Daniels. Not Daniels, sorry. Darnold, my mistake. He'll take the snap. He's looking for a quick throw and wide open Jackson Smith and Jigba. Lattimore was on him with off coverage. He'll pick up probably around 5 or 6. Make it third down and manageable. And now Marshawn Lattimore will push a Seattle player after the play's over, and I'm surprised they didn't call a flag. Lattimore's got to be careful, especially on that Seattle sideline, because they're going to be asking for that flag. The second he laid hands on that Seattle offensive player, you could see 20 different assistants saying flag, flag, flag.
All I'm saying, Lattimore, is that you can't be bad and also draw a penalty for a personal foul.
Exactly. Third down and 3, condensed formation, multiple tight ends again for Seattle. And they'll go handoff. Charbonnet, he'll find a crease. He'll pick up a first down and more. And he'll pick up around probably 10 yards. First down, Seattle. Again. Just no stopping the Seattle offense tonight, man. Especially not with this sorry-ass group of defensive players. Bobby Wagner shot the wrong gap. Of course he did. Trying to make a play in the backfield, and instead you open up big lanes. Javon Kinlaw trying to do an arm tackle. Doesn't work. Just a pathetic football team, man. Pathetic defense. Oh, man, Charbonnet took a little hit to the head there from Quan Martin, who lowered his helmet. And I think somebody's hurt. I think it's Martin. Something. Already lost Luke McCaffrey for the night. You've already lost Austin Eckler, Dietrich Wise, Dorrance Armstrong, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, all for the season. Don't have Terry McLaurin tonight. It's been a, I mean, I don't think the Commanders are where they're at right now because of injuries, but it's been a pretty shit year for injuries. Moby, 5, gets him in on the raffle, says, I just got off work. What the fuck has been happening? I mean,
you tell us, man.
Commanders' offense can't move the football outside of Jayden Daniels' scrambles, and they can't stop the football on the other side of the ball. That's what's happening, Moby.
Can't play with them.
Embarrassing start to this game, man. The fact that this Commanders team gets this many primetime games this year, frankly, is a joke. It's a national embarrassment week after week. It's the third straight primetime game for the Commanders. And in every game, they are getting – oh, actually, it's not the third straight. It's 3 out of 4 weeks where we've been on primetime. And every single time we've been on primetime, it's been an embarrassment. We're getting embarrassed tonight. It was an embarrassment in the second half versus Kansas City last week. It was an embarrassment when we gave up 3 fucking terrible turnovers against Chicago in a game you should have won.
Francis beating me to the punch here. Commanders starting to look like the Jets. Yeah, I was just about to say, it looks like the Jets that one year when they got like all those primetime games.
And it's like, man, like these games where Terry McLaurin is out and like nobody in the receiver room can get open, it just shows how important Terry McLaurin is to the survival of this offense. And if he's not out there, like, defenses have nothing to be afraid of. They can just pin their ears back, defend the run, play man coverage against everybody, and there's nobody that's going to beat them deep. And the guys that can beat them deep, like Jalen Lane, aren't going to consistently catch the football. So there's nothing to be afraid of if you're the Seahawks. Just play man coverage. Deebo Samuel's not going to route anybody up. Traylon Burks is not going to route anybody up. Jalen Lane might, but then he might drop the fucking football.
Because he can't catch.
So, like, you need your field stretcher and Terry McLaurin to open things up for other people, to garner that double team attention and that extra safety help, to open up things for other people. Now Quan Martin walking off the field, so we'll keep you updated on him. We'll see if he can come back. But already a safety room with Will Harris out that's already pretty light.
Pretty thin.
Now shotgun for Darnold. Condensed formation with a bunch out to the right. Now they send a man in motion right to left. They're going to hand it off to Charbonnet. He gets some push, and he will pick up a good 5 to 6 yard gain on first down. A successful first down run again for Washington.
It's just no push on both
Seattle.
sides of the ball. Offensive line can't do anything. Defensive line can't get any push.
Getting your ass kicked on the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. I mean,
you just don't win games like that.
Early on in the season, this Commanders team was winning both sides of the ball. The defensive line was one of the best things about this team.
I get it, there was injuries there, but what are we doing?
It's just soft up front, man. Under center, Darnold sends Jackson Smith and Jigba in motion. They go perimeter toss on the outside, but this time they're going to actually get a stop here. It's about a 4-yard loss. Good job by the Commanders' run defense. That's Bobby Wagner there to make a play, finally.
Let's just get off the field. Come on. Get
All
those
right.
threes.
Third down. It'll be third down and very long. Let's get off the field here. Jeremy Reeves, once again. I mean, Jeremy Reeves deserves a lot of credit for how he's played these last 2 weeks. All right, known as a special teams player, but he's made some good plays this year. And now third down and 8. Takes the snap. Shotgun looking. Darnold will throw down the field towards the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown. Torrey Horton. Mike Samer still in coverage. There's about 10 yards of separation. At least 5 yards of separation.
If there was one more second, Darnold was getting that ball jammed out of him.
And tell me if you've heard this before, but Mike Samer still couldn't hold up in coverage.
Yep. Just one more second, man.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I just want to tell you, I just have to tell you guys that this team stinks. No safety help over the top. I think a safety bit on a different route concept and it just left Horton wide ass open.
Oh.
And the kick will be up, and it is good. 14-0 Seattle with about 9 minutes to go in this first half. Flag on the play. We'll see what it is, but Commanders got to answer before the half. They just do. Seattle gets the ball to start the second half.
9 for 9, 116 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Darnold.
No incomplete passes tonight for Darnold. That just shows
you can't win games like that.
That just shows you how bad this Commanders defense is, man.
Yep.
2 touchdowns, no picks, perfect quarterback rating.
You just can't win games like this.
I mean, how does Horton, who's not even a fast receiver, it's like Horton's thing coming out is he's not fast. He has almost 10 yards of separation on Mike Samer still there.
Second touchdown on the night, too.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
Man. Shout out to my dad in chat.
Mr. Ponzi, way to step up and officiate your son's wedding. I guess when you got ordained all those years ago, you probably didn't think that you'd have to use it in that way, but it's a pretty cool story, man. Torrey Horton, 3 catches, 42 yards already, averaging 14 a pop. Just not good. Listen, man, we've seen some bad defenses over the years. I mean, I remember the Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio defense. That was terrible. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, but like this defense has been pretty freaking bad.
I mean, you got to say like all these injuries, but like how Bobby Wagner is still in a starting role ceases to be just confounds me.
And at least last week you came out with some fight. You made some plays. You were actually flying around.
Turnovers.
You got turnovers. You were flying around the football. You were flying to the quarterback. You're actually getting a little bit of a pass rush. You could stop the run a little bit. This week you got nothing. You can't stop the run. You can't stop the pass. You can't put pressure on Darnold consistently. You're committing penalties in the secondary.
I mean, like Marshawn Lattimore, you saw the stat on the screen. It was like he's second most in pass interference penalties. And it just tells you how bad he's been.
And listen, man, I've been advocating for this for weeks now. Move Mike Samerstill to the outside. Play him in off coverage exclusively. That's what he is. He's an off coverage number 2 corner on the outside. He's not a nickel player. He's not. All right? He's not a nickel player. And it's crazy because that's what everybody thought he could only play coming out because he's not fast. But I don't know how to explain it, man. He was actually pretty good last year as an outside corner. He was the best corner on this team last year. They asked him to play a lot of off coverage, and that he fit that role. He fit that role pretty well, and he had a good season. And there was a lot of hope for him to be, the breakout defensive player on the Commanders this year, and it's just been so disappointing. And same thing with Quan Martin, man. Kick is away. It's fielded in the end zone. Jalen Lane will take it out, and he fumbles it. No joke. Seattle picks it up. I'm not shitting you. And that's what you get when it just keeps getting worse. This might be a 3-touchdown deficit before Jayden Daniels touches the football again.
Can't catch the football?
I mean, Jalen Lane, man, I don't even know how you can get him on the field anymore. I just don't know how you can trust him. You can't catch the football.
Can't hold on to it.
He muffs punts. He fumbles it on kickoff returns. I don't know if it's small hands. I don't know if it's poor technique. I don't know what it is, man, but Jalen Lane cannot be trusted. And now Seattle will take over deep in Commander territory with a chance to go up 3 scores. I mean, they're already in position to go up 3 scores. If they get a field goal here, if the Commanders defense gets a stop, you still go down 3 scores before half. Under center is Darnold. 2 receiver set out wide. He's going to take a 5-step drop. No pressure on him whatsoever. Throws the seam. It's caught. Touchdown Seattle. 1 play, 1 score. Christian Arroyo. Touchdown Seattle. Holy fucking shit, this Commanders team is bad. Holy cow, man.
I saw someone say Monday Night Massacre. I think we're getting there.
I think we're already there, pal. Yeah. Who is this in coverage? Number 18. Just looks like he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Tyler Owens.
I guess Jackson.
And then also,
was open too.
Then your best corner, Trey Amos, just got absolutely toasted. Jackson Smith and Jigba would have had a wide open touchdown if he would have thrown it to him. But no, Darnold wants a little bit of a challenge. He wants he wants the tighter window, you know. Kick is up and good. 21-0 Seattle. And if you wanted to go to bed at this point, I can't blame you, Commanders Nation. You know, in a game that you had to have, coming off of 3 straight losses, you had to have this win, man. It's not over yet. You know, this would be one of the best comebacks of the year if they pull it off, and it would save their season. But we are well on our way to 4 straight losses, 3-6, and selling multiple players off before Tuesday's deadline. And now Trey Amos is coming off the field with an injury.
Because of course.
Heading into the locker room. Your best defensive player this year. Because of course he is.
Oh my God. This is a season from hell. It's just a season from hell.
The season from hell in Washington, man. I mean, this Commanders team is as bad as we thought last year's team was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of reminds me of the Giants. Like, they made the playoffs in the first year with Dable, and they kind of overperformed. And then the next year, they regressed to kind of where we thought they were going to be in year 1 of Dable. It kind of reminds me of that. And now the ball goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Jayden Daniels and the Commanders will take over again. Listen, man, you gotta fight back. You gotta score a touchdown, maybe even 2 touchdowns before half here to feel good, to feel decent about yourself.
Yeah.
Like if you go into this locker room 21-0, I feel like people are just gonna give up.
Steve asking what happened to your attitude in preseason. You thought we were going deep. Now midseason, you're ready.
I had Commanders people telling me I didn't have enough. I didn't have enough wins in my record prediction. I think I picked the Commanders to win 11 or 12 games. I can't remember exactly. I'll have to go back. It was either 11 or 12 wins, and I was told that was too little, and we were going to win 14 or 15. Jayden throws over the middle, and it's dropped by John Bates. You can't make it up. So Trey Amos has a hip injury. And by the way, my preseason prognostication was based on the thought that Jayden Daniels and Terry McLaurin would actually be on the field, that we would have people healthy at defensive end, that Mike Samerstiel and Quan Martin, who looked good last year, wouldn't take 5 steps backward in their progression. Hand off to Bill here on 2nd down and 10. He'll pick up 5. It'll be 3rd down and manageable. But yeah, man, it sucks. It just sucks. And I think we all had expectations for this team heading into the year. You go to the NFC Championship game one year, on paper the roster gets better the next year. You expect to be, in a similar situation. And maybe if Terry and Jayden and Dietrich and Dorrance all stayed healthy, or relatively healthy, we'd be having a different discussion right now, but we're not, and that's unfortunate. Shotgun here, Daniels needs to stay on the field. He throws. It's caught but short of the sticks. 4th down coming up. I think you got to go for it. It's 4th down and 1.
Yeah.
I think you got to go for it.
At this point.
Dude, if you get the ball back to Darnold, if you punt it, he's just going to go right back down the field.
The defense can't stop a fly.
Dan Quinn will keep his offense on the field. It's 4th down and 1.
See if this Commanders offense can get any push at the line.
McNichols the back. I'm thinking they're going to put it in Daniels' hands. They do. They're going to run him, and he's got room. He's going to pick up a first down and more. No, there's going to be a flag. They're going to call false start, and I think the Commanders are going to have to punt. Can't make it up.
Yep.
Jesus, what a
yourself in the foot.
So national embarrassment. We're the Jets of last year. You know, where you have all these primetime games. You're supposed to be, you're supposed to be Super Bowl contenders, and yep, Zach Ertz went too early. He got caught. Fuck. And Jayden would have had an opportunity. He would have had room to run.
Nope.
Instead, Tressway comes on to punt. Once again, the Commanders' offense peters out, and now with 7 minutes left to go in the half, Seattle will now have a chance to go up four scores if they get a touchdown here. Kick is away. And now it's another good punt from Tressway. He gets it down to the 13-yard line, but
not like it matters.
I mean, at this field position, Seattle can almost just knock out the rest of the half if they go on a touchdown drive here. So,
got some super chats.
if you guys want to vent and you guys want to, talk about your frustrations and your anger with this Commanders football team this year, feel free to put it down there in the comments. Moby with a 5 says, "That's it. It's time to bust out the bottle of Jack. I don't blame you." Jacob Terry, I'm guessing he's an Eagles fan, says, "Fly, Eagles, fly." Good for you, man. Eagles are still good, and the Commanders stink. Nothing but
Nothing
that.
Screams, though, shitting on other rivals' teams when you're versus the division sitting comfy. Steve Lawton saying he wants to hear the song.
Oh, we're not going to be singing. Well, I mean, listen, man, we're not going to be singing anymore. We might not be singing any more Cry Eagles Cry songs the rest of the season because we can't call anybody losers when this team is this bad. That's just the reality of it. I mean, goodness gracious, this is just an absolute joke of a season from the Washington Commanders.
We're 5 likes away from a free raffle.
We are 5 likes away from giving away a free raffle entry. And we are just 2 subscribers. Never mind. But we passed 450. So let's give away 1 free raffle entry here. Spam those me's if you want a Jayden Daniels jersey or a raffle ticket to win a Jayden Daniels jersey. We got Joe, we got Sean, we got Yaya, Sean S., we've got Zach, we got Tom, Jamie, Moby, Evan. We got Somewhere, Gooner, Zach, J-Dog, Steve, Douglas, John again, Mitchell. We got Zach, JJ, Mitch, Gooner, Zach, Mitchell, Mike. Keep them coming. We passed 200 likes as well. So I'm going to give 1 here to Sean S. and the other one to Tom Dean. You guys are in on the raffle.
Congratulations. Can he have an incomplete pass?
We might be. Well, I'm not even joking, man. We might have to get the mock draft season started early here on the Commanders, man. Under center here is Darnold. 1st down and 10, play action. He's going to step up. He's got time. He's going to dump it off to his check down, Kenneth Walker. Hesitates, but picks up about 5 on the 1st down reception. Successful 1st down play again for Seattle.
Not good.
Second down and 5. Need an impact play. Somebody make a play here. Come on. Handoff. And there we go. TFL. That's Jordan McGee flying in there. He's been one of the better players on this Commanders defense all season. He's finally getting the reps that he deserves, and he gets a TFL there.
Let's just get off the field. Type those threes.
Trey Amos is back on the sideline. He's not in the game. Is anyone here? But is Quan Martin in the game? Did he come back? Third down and 5. Get off the field here. Give yourself a shot to go get a touchdown. And now Quan Martin is back in the game, by the way. Darnold looking pressure. He's trying to escape. He throws. Beautiful play by Darnold. Gets it to Jackson Smith-Njigba. Makes a man miss. Gets all the way down to the 39-yard line. And Jeremy Reeves is pissed. Can't get him off the field on 3rd and 5. God, I don't know if I've seen a more lopsided game on primetime football this year. I'm trying to think of one where it was this lopsided. It's hard to think of, man. Under center, Darnold. Takes the snap, play action, roll out to the right. Nobody pressuring him. He throws on the run, wide open, caught, and Arroyo is on the run after a missed tackle. And that is a touchdown. That is White, actually, not Arroyo. And Seattle has another TD. Cody White, the wide receiver.
Four plays.
Just a soft defense that can't tackle, can't cover, can't win the line of scrimmage. I mean, at this point, what do the Commanders even do well? Especially now, you take away Luke McCaffrey. I mean, Quan Martin, another missed tackle. I mean,
Trey Amos is clearly limping on the play.
Yeah, and Trey Amos is pretty clearly limping.
Why do you have
there's no reason why he should be out there on the field, man. Get him off. Get him off. Season's over. Just protect his long-term future at this point. Kick is up and good. 28-0 Seattle. And we still got 4.5 minutes left to go in the half, man. We're already down 4 touchdowns.
This is the new Monday Night Massacre. Sunday night.
I mean, tell me what's new. There's nothing new about this team. Quan Martin can't tackle. Injuries to key players. Nobody at receiver can get open for Jayden. Run game not getting anything done like they haven't done all month long. It's just been the month from hell over the last 4 weeks for the Washington Commanders, man. This season's over. Unless they somehow miraculously come back to win this game, which there's still time to do. Like, there's technically still time for the Commanders to, pull a rabbit out of their ass and just start scoring every single drive, and the defense magically starts stopping Seattle. But, there's just no way that I can see that happening. No. With the way this defense is playing, with the lack of physicality, with the lack of push at the line of scrimmage, with the lack of athleticism, frankly, on the field. I mean, Trey Amos should not be out there on the field. I don't know why they put him back out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's hurt. I understand he wants to go through and he's your best corner, but, he's not your best corner if he's hurt.
And listen, man, with your season on the line tonight, to come out with this first half performance, I mean, they came out with great energy in the first half last week. They were in the game at halftime last week versus the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. Now they're at home, honoring, the Super Bowl teams of old,
and
with their old jerseys and everything, and you're just disgracing the uniforms tonight. You really are. You're disgracing the history of this organization by playing like this.
Former teams.
And last year's Cinderella run, the sobering reality that we're getting this season is that was just what it was, a Cinderella run.
The clock struck 12.
And this team has turned back into a pumpkin. Now, obviously, injuries contribute to it. Terry McLaurin being out a lot. Jayden Daniels has missed games. Of course, all the injuries to the defensive end position. I don't want to hear any of that shit, man. Marshawn Lattimore's been bad this year. Quan Martin's been terrible this year. Mike Samerstro's been terrible this year. Now they put Deebo Samuel back out there to return kicks because they can't trust Jalen Lane. Gets a decent return, but nothing special. And even if the Commanders get a touchdown here, you're down 3 fucking touchdowns with Seattle getting the ball at half.
And Sam Darnold hasn't thrown an incomplete pass.
Darnold is literally 13 of 13. Like, is this Commanders defense the worst in the league? Just throwing that out there right now. I think it is.
It's a good chance.
It might, like, the Titans is pretty bad. There's some bad defenses, but like this is bad, man. Shotgun for Jayden. Takes the snap, play action. Daniels looking, now nothing there. Now he has to look to run again, and he's going to pick up 7 yards on the ground. There's just nothing open. And listen, man, like I know people are going to want to put blame on the quarterback because, the buck kind of stops with that player on offense, but like Tom Brady had a bad season his final year in New England when he had nobody to throw to. And then he goes to Tampa, and then he balls out. When you give Jayden Daniels adequate weapons, especially a true number 1 weapon to open up things for everybody else, and you give him a good run game like they had last year and in the early portion of this season, Jayden can play really well. But it's not been the case this last month. Handoff here. No push on the offensive line again, but Chris Rodriguez Jr. spins and finds a way to the first down, pickup of 3 or 4. Well, Burks has been out there all game in moments, but he just hasn't gotten the ball. He's not getting open. Now they bring Deebo back out there, take Burks off the field. I mean, we might be looking at Deebo Samuel's last game in a Washington Commanders uniform, man. Like, you're not going to extend him next year. It's 30. If you can get a 5th-round pick for him, I'd be happy with that return on investment. Just get your pick back. Handoff here to Rodriguez, and now finally the run game gets a little something going here. Picks up around 12. First down Commanders into Seattle territory. And finally, somebody's getting something going in the run game, man. Little power run there. Opened up a nice hole. Now they go empty with Jayden. Seattle threatening blitz, and they send blitz. Jayden will throw quickly over the middle. It's caught by Deebo. You'll pick up around 10 yards. That should be another Commanders first down. So now the clock continues to tick. They're going to say he's just short. 2nd down and 1 coming up. Maybe a couple plays before the 2-minute warning here. This might be the last play. They might just take this to the 2-minute warning. And then 2 receiver set here from pistol, wing formation. It's going to be handoff, and he's going to pick up the first down. Gain of around 3. First down Commanders, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Chris Rodriguez Jr. finding a little bit of a spark here on the ground. But at the 2-minute warning, it's all Seattle, 28-0 in the first half, at home. Pure embarrassment. And I think a lot of Commanders fans are going to want to fire Dan Quinn after this season and all that. There's no way they're going to. I think there's no way they fire him. I think they're going to give him at least one more season. Kind of similar to how Brian Dable had a Coach of the Year performance his first year in New York, and then they sucked that second year, and they still gave him another year. Like, they're going to give, like, no matter, the Commanders could lose the rest of their games this season. They're going to keep Dan Quinn. Now, they might fire Joe Witt Jr. That's a possibility. But, yeah, man, this Commanders team is just not it this year. They could actually run the football last year. They can't do it this year. Or at least they haven't been able to with Bill Krosky-Merritt as of late. Haven't been able to get much push on the offensive line. And then when you combine that with a defense that can't stop anybody, it's even worse than last year, which is crazy, Ponzi. I mean, we had Benjamin St. Toast on this defense last year. Michael Davis started games on the outside at corner for this team last year. Noah Igbenogany was your full-time starting slot. He's not even he can't even play for this year's Commanders team. He doesn't even have a helmet tonight. That's how bad this secondary was last year, Ponzi. And you still had old Bobby Wagner. You still had Frankie Luva with all his issues as a tackler out in space and in pass coverage. You didn't have like the most special pass rush in the world, but yet you had a special offense, right? And I think that's really what made that Commanders team last year so good, is that you could run the football. They were a top 3 rushing offense in the league last year, and Jayden was a big part of that. And then, you had Terry McLaurin. And, if you don't have a legitimate number 1 weapon on your offense, it's really hard to pass the football because teams can just play man against you. And how many times have we seen tonight? Jayden Daniels drops back, he goes through his progressions, and nothing's there, so he has to run. All right? And, you might be saying at home, oh, well, Jayden's got to pull the trigger. He's got to throw it. There's nobody to throw to. What do you want him to do? Like, we might have to do some film study this week to show you guys there's just nothing open for Jayden Daniels. And, there's no quarterback in the league that can overcome what Washington is as a team this year. Bad O-line, bad defensive line, can't win on the perimeter on either side of the ball. Patrick Mahomes would have a losing record with the Washington Commanders right now. Josh Allen would have probably a losing record with the Washington Commanders right now. So, to me, this is not a Jayden Daniels issue. This is a roster issue and, in many ways, a coaching issue as well. First down and 10. Shotgun Daniels going to fake the screen. Now throws lane over the middle, slant caught. Gets inside the Prize Picks red zone. Nice design by Cliff Kingsbury there. Gets inside to the 18-yard line. Clock will continue to tick. There we go. Jalen Lane catches the football without fumbling it. Yay! Use code CLNS when you download the Prize Picks app today to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. First down and 10, shotgun for Daniels. Clock down to 1:20 left in the half. Multiple tight ends still on the field. Takes the snap. They will hand it off to Chris Rodriguez Jr., who's going to fight his way forward. Good fight from Chris. He'll pick up 5. Clock will continue to tick. This is a non-negotiable touchdown situation, man. This is 4-down territory to me. You're down 4 touchdowns. Seattle calls their first timeout, by the way, kind of a gift to Washington. 1 minute and 9 seconds. I think Seattle wants the ball back because Seattle thinks they can drive down because they can. Dude, man, after this game, if it keeps going the way that it's going, you got to put the Commanders in the pit of the earth kind of category. I don't even know if they're in the top 25 of teams in the league. There's certain teams that they're better than. They're better than the Raiders, and they're better than the Jets, and they're better than the Titans, and, those shitty shit teams. But, there's nothing outside of Jayden Daniels that's good about this team. Nothing. Terry McLaurin, but he's never on the field, and he's probably going to miss next week versus Detroit as well. It was reported by Ian Rappaport today. So, you need to completely overhaul the secondary next year. We got to revamp you got to get rid of Quan Martin. Quan Martin and Mike Samerstill probably have to go unless you're playing Samerstill on the outside, which is possible. Lattimore's going to have to go at the end of the season. If somebody's willing to take Lattimore for a 7th-round pick, send him. See ya. Ernest Jones, the linebacker for Seattle, had to leave the game. Got rolled up on. Ooh, that doesn't look good after the play. Hopefully he's okay. And then you got to play Detroit's offense next week. Holy shnikes. Kind of an interesting design here by Cliff. Now Jayden has to just throw it away. Nothing open again. 3rd down and 5 coming up. Cliff trying to get into his bag of tricks. And, you can't blame Cliff for trying. When it doesn't work, it looks silly. But, what else is he supposed to fucking do? These guys aren't getting open. there's just not enough talent on this Commanders offense without Terry McLaurin on it to make it work. Traylon Burks is out there. I still don't think he has a target. Shotgun, 2-by-2 formation. Jayden will take the snap on 3rd and 5. Big play here. Rolls out to the right. Still looking. Now he's going to look to run. He'll pick up the first down. Can he get to the end zone? He's going to get to the 1-yard line out of bounds with 56 seconds left to go. If the Commanders pull off this upset, I may shit my pants. But it's not a guarantee. That's a may, by the way. I don't want to lock myself into something here, but
Live.
And once again, Jayden Daniels has to bail you out with his legs.
Quite literally putting the team on his back.
Just there's nothing open. There's nothing open. Traylon Burks not getting open. Jalen Lane not getting open. Deebo Samuel not getting open. Just there's nothing. Shotgun here for Daniels. They're going to run him out to the left because he's the only good player they have. Touchdown, Jayden. And now they're celebrating. They're dancing in the end zone. Dude, just run to the sideline. You're down 3 touchdowns, dog. I don't need to see that, Jayden. I love you, man, but we don't need to be doing celebrations when we're down 3 touchdowns. Well-blocked run concept there. Jayden just sneaks in on kind of like a speed kind of run out to the right, out to the left, my mistake. Gets the touchdown, so at least it's not a shutout. And at least you hopefully go into the locker room with some sort of positive vibes. But at this point, Ponzi, the offense can score a touchdown on every drive. I still don't think they win the game because the Seahawks are going to continue to score. This defense can't stop them. Kick is up, and it is good. 28-7. At least the Commanders have a little fight in them here to go get a touchdown. Yeah, I'm so enthused by the touchdown, down by 28. Oh, man. So listen, man, I wish I could be more excited for a Commanders touchdown, but when you're already down 4 tuds, it's you got a long way to go. So I really don't know, man. I mean, there was a report that came out, I think it was today, by Diana Rossini that the Commanders were thinking of buying at the deadline. Like, they should not be buying at the deadline. If they lose this game, and it looks like, 99% chance they will, and I would love for this to get clipped tomorrow and be like, oh, before the comeback, but it's probably not going to happen, guys. And I would
drink pickle juice mixed with some other stuff, a whole cup of it. If the Commanders come back and win this game, I will do.
What about pickle juice with mayonnaise?
Yeah. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Oh, man. It's just a bad first half, man. And what sucks, Ponzi, is it's not just a one-off thing. It's just consistent. It's just consistently been bad in all the same areas. Mike Sainristil and Quan Martin have been so bad this year. Bobby Wagner has officially gone from, losing his touch to full-blown lost his touch. You have injuries everywhere to all your best players, to a lot of your best players anyway. It's just been a complete and utter disaster of a season. And it just feels like they should have done more in the offseason, right? You had all this money. The Commanders still, I think, are top 3 in cap space. They had a shit ton of money to spend, and outside of like Javon Kinlaw, they didn't spend it on a whole lot of players. They weren't very aggressive. Like, they were very bullish on, we have our guys and we feel good. You couldn't pony up the extra dough to go get Jeremy Chin back. Instead, you go get Will Harris, who gets injured, and we hope that he gets better soon. But All right. Seattle has the ball at around the 25. Decent kick coverage from Washington. And to Washington's credit, they still look like they're playing with energy. Like they were dapping each other up after that stop. They get them down at the 24, and they're playing with some juice here, but I just don't think it's going to be enough, man. Shotgun here for Darnold, 49 seconds and 2 timeouts for Seattle. They're going to have to push the ball down the field, and there's Njigba just knifing his way through this defense. He gets to the 44 already. And no timeout being spent by Seattle. If they get one more shot like that, they'll be in field goal range to make this 24 points heading into the half. 31 points given up in a single half. Takes the snap. Darnold looking for the quick answer. Throws quickly. It's caught. Barner, he's going to pick up 7. Inbounds. Timeout Seattle, I'm guessing. Yeah, 20 seconds. It's just, man, there's no pass rush. Darnold has all day to throw. The people out in coverage look completely lost. Like, I really do think at this point, with all the injuries that they have suffered on the Commanders defense, you can make a legitimate argument this is the worst defense in the league. Like, you can. You've got multiple serious liabilities out there. Quan Martin, Mike Samerstill, Marshawn Lattimore, Bobby Wagner, Preston Smith. Multiple very, very heavy liabilities. Shotgun here. Takes the snap. Looking, Darnold. Nothing there initially. Now going to throw down the field to Njigba. It's caught. First down. What a beautiful throw from Darnold. That is Jonathan Jones on him in coverage. It was not terrible coverage, but Njigba had a step on him. They once again put him in the backfield, and they just use him in the backfield to just set up these one-on-one matchups. And Darnold just floats it over the top. Jones never even gets his head around, and now they're in field goal range. Like, dude, at this point, after this game, I think it's all about the future. You know, I would listen, man. I would either cut Marshawn Lattimore, or I would try and trade him before the deadline. But like, if we get past the deadline, I'm cutting him to allow Mike Samerstill to get time on the outside. Now we'll see what the Trey Amos injury looks like. And right now, what I don't understand, Ponzi, is they're having Samerstill continue to play in the slot even though Trey Amos is out. So you have an opportunity to give Samerstill a shot to play on the outside and put Jonathan Jones in the slot where he can play and see if that works. But instead, you put Jonathan Jones on the outside where he's terrible. I think they are trying to see if this is incomplete. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be. Or why it would be. I don't see the ball come out. And even then, he's got 2 feet down and multiple limbs out of bounds. This should be easy call. There's 13 seconds left to go in the half. And again, Seattle gets the ball to start the second half. So it's not like the Commanders can, get the ball to start the half and cut this down to two scores. They're going to have to get a stop before they have an opportunity to do that. And I just have no confidence in this defense to do that. Like, this defense is in the same category as, like, the Cincinnati Bengals. That's how bad this defense is. Like, in the category of can't stop anybody. So I think they're challenging whether or not this should be stoppage, like if he was brought down in bounds or if he was out of bounds. I think they're saying that he was down in bounds, and Seattle's going to have to use a timeout here, probably. So Seattle's not using the timeout, but there's a 10-second runoff, so it goes down to 3 seconds, and Mike McDonald is now saying, I want a timeout. That's just bad. That's just bad. That's just bad game management from Mike McDonald, dude. So there's 5 seconds left. They're going to have to kick the field goal now with a timeout to spare. So they're going to use the final timeout, I guess, with 3 seconds left to go. So they'll send out Jason Myers, who hasn't been the best kicker in the league this year. And this will be a pretty long field goal for Seattle. If they make it, they go. It's still a 3-score game regardless. The only difference is Washington would need 3 touchdowns with 3 converted 2-point conversions to tie. So you're saying there's a chance. Actually, it's not that far. It's only a 41-yard kick. This should be an easy make, honestly. Thought they were back further for some reason. So here we go. To end the half, 3 seconds to go. Hold, snap, hold, and it's up, and it's right down the middle. Commanders give up 31 points in the first half. And that's the story. That's the headline. The Commanders give up 31 points at halftime. At home. And I mean, we're at the point with this defense where it's just there's no saving it. There's no saving it. Bobby Wagner is too integral a part of the communication system. They clearly don't trust him when he's not on the field. They don't trust this unit to communicate with him off the field. But listen, man, I'm looking at this situation like you're heading towards. Let's face it, we're heading towards 3-6. And with that being the case, it's time to think about the future. It's time to think about.
And it's tough questions. Do you see Deebo Samuel being part of your future? If not, I don't think so.
If someone wants Bobby Wagner, I'm trading him for a 7th-round pick.
Hell, trade him back to Seattle. Get a 7th or something like that.
If somebody wants Marshawn Lattimore, I'm willing to take a 7th for him. If somebody wants Andrew Wiley, I'm willing to take a pick for him. If somebody wants
Daron
Payne, for the right price, because he can come back next year. So there's a certain price tag where I'd be willing to not give him up for. I would say I would
2 pick.
I would need probably a round 3 pick to let go of Daron Payne. But there is a price tag where I would give him up, and he's a good player.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about a 4th rounder.
I don't know if I'm giving him up for a 4th, man. Maybe. I would at least think about it, especially if it's like a team that's. I mean, but the teams that are buying, I mean,
if they have a good.
The 4th-round pick you're getting from a contender is like late 4th round.
Like if like the Eagles have like a 4th-round pick from like the Jets, take that.
I'm not giving Daron Payne to the Eagles. Fuck that.
Well, no, I was saying like something like that.
Yeah. But yeah, Deebo Samuel, if you can get a 5th for him, I think you'd be lucky to get that at this point.
I'd even take a.
I'd take it.
6th rounder.
I would think about giving him up for a 6th. Yeah. Listen, man, it's all about the future now. It's all about the future. You want to see if Traylon Burks can be something for your team moving forward. You want to see if guys like Jalen Lane can do something. You want to see if Ben Sinnott can do something. If someone offers me like a 6th or a 7th for Zach Ertz, here you go. I'm trying to stockpile picks. And then when it comes to how I'm playing this team, I'm putting the young guys out there everywhere. All right, I'm putting Brandon Coleman back at left guard, by the way. Chris Paul has been awful these last several weeks. Josh Connerly's been a huge disappointment this year, but you got to play him to see if he gets better. Laramie Tunsil. I mean, someone wants Laramie Tunsil. I'd think about it.
I cannot believe they gave up the draft capital to get Laramie Tunsil.
Let's look at Laramie's contract here.
What was the trade again?
Multiple picks. Laramie Tunsil has this year and next year, but the Commanders have multiple void years on his contract, but those are irremovable. So,
I cannot believe
listen, man, if someone's willing to give me a decent pick for Laramie Tunsil, I'm thinking about it. And listen, man, there's
a 2nd, 4th, and a 3rd.
Yeah. If you can get some of those picks back for Laramie Tunsil, I'd think about it. And there's teams out there that could use left tackle help. There are teams out there that could use a starting left tackle. And honestly, Tunsil is probably one of the most valuable pieces the Commanders have right now. And it's like, he's pretty old. He's 31.
Can't believe he gave up that much draft capital for a 31-year-old.
And he's only under contract for one more season.
What was that Peters thinking, man?
Well, he was thinking, protect Jayden Daniels.
Yeah.
And he was thinking, put veterans on this team around Jayden on a rookie contract to go and try and win a Super Bowl. That was the thinking.
But that's, I don't know. Maybe it's just my philosophy of, like, if I'm a GM, I don't want to get older veterans. I mean, I get it.
but if this team is 8-2 right now, we're not talking about shit. We're talking about how great of a strategy it was. You know what I'm saying? It's just the results that makes us not like it as much.
Yeah. That's
and in hindsight, it probably wasn't the right strategy, to your point. But if he goes out and gets Laramie Tunsil and Deebo Samuel and all these guys, and they're all great, then we're looking at these moves and we're saying he's a genius, right? So it's not necessarily the strategy, it's how the results have ended up. And obviously, this is a results-based business, and the results have not been great for Adam Peters and the moves that they made this offseason.
Busy X Joe, we regressed this year. Tried to win and add with the same core players from last year and add pieces, but injuries and an aging defense exposed us. We need to sell and get rid of the dead weights. I mean, pretty much.
I think this is extremely well said. Well said. It certainly doesn't help when Jayden, is on and off with injuries. It doesn't help when Terry is out on and off with injuries. Those are two of your most important players. But really, man, the big bummer to me on offense, because it's not like this defense was great last year. Like, it was a pretty bad defense, if we're being completely honest. It was maybe slightly below league average. It wasn't this bad last year, but it wasn't good. But the reason why they continued to win games and they were able to win 12 of them last year was because they could run the ball like nobody's business. They were such a good running team. And Jayden was a big part of that. And then you could also throw the ball down the field with incredible efficiency with Terry McLaurin. And with Terry out of the lineup, it's just taken away that ability. Yeah. And, the first couple weeks they couldn't do it because Terry was still getting ramped up. He hadn't played with Jayden. You could tell that connection was off. And then by week 2, Jayden's hurt. He's missing a couple weeks. By the time he comes back, Terry's out with an injury. By the time Jayden's back then, Terry's, same thing goes. It's just been back and forth, and you just can't get that same formula going that you had last year on offense, and it's so disappointing. Yeah. So disappointing. It just sucks. It just sucks, man. $2 from Cameron Pickett. Appreciate you, Cam. But yeah, man, if I'm the Commanders, I'm approaching this trade deadline the same way the Saints will, the same way the Titans will. The players that I'm not willing to give up are the players that are young and are playing well. Guys like Trey Amos, guys like Jayden Daniels, Bill Krosky-Merritt to some degree. Like, he hasn't been playing as well lately, but
I don't think that's against him.
He has upside, right? I'm not getting rid of Terry because it doesn't make financial sense to do that. Like, there's certain players that you're not giving up. But, if someone offered me a good pick, if there's a desperate team for a starting left tackle, like the Los Angeles Chargers, for example, if they're desperate to get a guy like Laramie Tunsil and they're willing to give me a day 2 pick for Laramie, I'm thinking about it at this point.
I'll probably just pull the trigger if I'm going to be honest.
Just get as many draft picks as you can to fill this team out with young talent next year and start building around Jayden Daniels for the future.
The Commanders they have 6?
They have 6 draft picks, 2 in the first 4 rounds, which is where you get most of your starters. You got to get more picks, man. So, I'm trying to shop, especially my big ticket items, right? I'm trying to find somebody to take Laramie Tunsil. I'm trying to find somebody to take Daron Payne for a good price tag. And honestly, at this point, like you said, Ponzi, I might have to think about letting go of Daron Payne for a 4th. At this point.
I mean, it's not. I'm thinking about ways where we can just get better instantly, and there's not a lot of additions that would help out this team at all. So
why are we talking about additions? The season's over.
Saying going over it this way of because I see people going in the comments going oh well let's just add, and it just doesn't work like that. So.
Well, and let's say you add a player, okay? Let's say you add an edge rusher or you add a receiver or whatever, and you trade yet another draft pick to get those players, by the way. Then what? You're sitting in a situation where you have room for maybe one more loss the rest of the season. Exactly. Maybe one more loss. You still have the Eagles twice okay? You still have to play Detroit next week on the road, okay? You still have to play some really fucking hard teams down the stretch. And you only have room for one more loss to reasonably expect to make the playoffs. This season's over.
And like it's not
like there's no adding to this team. There's only unloading for more picks. That's all that's left for this team.
And that's exactly what I was more getting to, is just because like that's the reason why we're talking about selling. It's not because we're so doom and gloom because we just lost. It's just this team doesn't look good.
And this isn't like, oh, we lose one game so we're crying and complaining about it. This is, we've lost 4 fucking straight games in a row and we've been embarrassed in all of them.
Exactly.
That's what this is. All right, there's no hope left. None. In my opinion. There's just no fathomable way that this team turns around and wins almost the rest of their games. Because you're sitting at what, 3-6? You got to get to 10 wins. You got to win 7 of your final 8 games to even be in contention, really, to make the playoffs.
And the one goodness about this, or one positive spot, if you want, is that if the Commanders have a top 5 pick, which they very well could, they have a top 5 pick, they have a quarterback.
Yeah, they have a quarterback. Yeah. And you know, you can trade down. If you like, the higher the draft pick is,
you get 3 top 100 picks.
Yeah, dude. Yes. If you have a good top 10 draft pick, maybe even top 5, and you trade down, you can get a king's ransom. All right, because there's going to be 3 quarterbacks at the top of next year's draft: Ty Simpson, Dante Moore, and Fernando Mendoza. They're all going to go high if they come out. All of them. And Lenore Sellers.
Ruben Bain might go.
What's up?
Ruben Bain might go there in that top 5 range.
Ruben Bain,
the Miami.
Oh, yeah. But I'm just talking about quarterbacks. I'm just talking about quarterbacks.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that like that's good for the Commanders because you at least have one guy who's not going to be a quarterback. So you would be able to have someone wanting to trade up for that quarterback.
100%. 100%. And like, who knows? What the fuck is that? The horse head? Oh, nice. I love that. I love that picture from the Steelers.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you've seen the Steelers TikTok.
No, is it crazy?
It's Gen Z. Oh. Just all my humor.
Oh, man. I mean, hey, maybe the Seahawks will score 81 points on Art Monk Day, huh? How about that? How about the Seahawks? How about this? Commanders give up 81 points in memory of Art Monk here and his legacy with this team. Jesus fuck. Just an embarrassing performance, man. Just an embarrassing performance. And I would not be. If I'm a Commanders fan, I'm leaving. I'm leaving after halftime. I'm cheering for Art Monk and I'm giving him all the credit in the world there. And you know, I'm
gone.
And then I'm gone. I'm not watching the rest of this game. I'm going to bed and I'm going to bed, man. I'm going to sleep. Because this shit is not worth watching.
We're here to talk Commanders football. Obviously, we don't want y'all to leave. And if you want to keep commenting, keep talking about it, I mean,
we're going to be here venting throughout the night, guys. So make sure you get those super chats in. $5 gets you into a raffle to win a Jayden Daniels jersey. Because even though this team stinks this year, I think the prospects for the future are still pretty bright because of Jayden Daniels. And I think, you know, he showed last year, you give him one quality weapon as a receiver, he's gonna completely take this. And you give him a run game. Give him a good play caller. He's going to have success. Okay, I think that, you know, certainly with the way the season's going, Cliff Kingsbury's not going anywhere. He's going to stay another year. And I'm fine with that as far as I'm concerned. I think Cliff's fine. I don't think he's the issue. I think the issue is it's really hard to scheme around an offensive line that can't get push, you know, receivers that can't get open versus man.
And
it's just really,
they can't catch.
And guys that can't catch. Like, it's really, really fucking hard in this league to be successful as an offensive coordinator when those are the things that you're working with. That's just the reality of the situation.
And that comes from our personnel. I mean, we've been kind of talking about coaching. People want to talk about Joe Witt, about, you know, Cliff Kingsbury, but it does also come down to Adam Peters.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think Adam Peters deserves a pretty big portion of the blame here because, you know, obviously he's the one making the decisions in the front office, and they had a lot more money to spend this year on players in free agency that they just decided not to use.
No.
And if, like, the strategy was to go all in on veterans to try and help Jayden Daniels win now, they didn't use nearly enough of that money, in my opinion. They didn't go out and get the big ticket item at edge rusher. They didn't make those plays.
Instead of signing veteran help.
But it is also like on the coaching staff too, because especially the defensive coaching staff, because you are trusted with the development of young players like Mike Samerstill and Quan Martin. And Joe Witt Jr.'s specialty was he was a DB coach in Dallas. And he's trusted with the development of these two guys that showed promise last year. And somehow they haven't just taken one step backwards. They've taken like 3 or 4 big steps back in their play this year. They are terrible.
I mean, they're taking as much steps back as steps allow for the wide receiver in separation.
Yeah, it's bad. You can't tackle. You
Can't cover.
You can't set the edge. You can't defend the run. You can't defend down the field. You can't
push.
You can't stop yourself from committing defensive penalties. I mean, it's a fucking joke. And like, I don't want to give up on Quan Martin and Mike Samerstill because they're young players, but like, and they were high draft picks. But the play is the play, the film is the film, and these guys have been dog shit all season long. All season long. And I hate to say that because I was so high on both of them coming into the year. It was a big reason why I thought this defense was going to be better this year. I had high hopes for this defense this year. And by the way, they showed some of those flashes early on when they could actually set an edge with Dietrich Wise and Dorrance Armstrong. Like, they were actually winning the line of scrimmage consistently in the early portion of the season. Like, I know we don't want to blame injuries, and I don't think it's the biggest thing, but like, I 100% believe losing both Dorrance Armstrong and Dietrich Wise was really big for this defense because it's allowed these teams to get to the exterior and to the perimeter very easily, and then Bobby Wagner's lack of speed really comes up. Now, the kickoff here to start the second half is muffed by Seattle. They're not even going to get to the 20. They get to the 19. But here comes Sam Darnold and the Seahawks offense.
Did not have a single incompletion.
A perfect first half for Sam Darnold. Yeah, I don't even know what Dan Quinn could be saying here in this interview. Under center handoff to Walker. He will pick up maybe one. Javon Kinlaw and Jacob Martin trying to give some fucking juice to this defense. It's like, this is what sucks, man, is that you can see guys like Jacob Martin giving his all. You can see guys like Javon Kinlaw, who's had a really good season this year, give his all. It's just not enough because you just can't cover. Exactly. Now, second down and 9, shotgun. Darnold, no pressure on him at all. Gets to his 4th read, it looked like, and he gets a good gain of 8. It'll be 3rd down and 1 coming up. There's just no pressure. Like, there's just no getting to Sam Darnold today. And Bobby Wagner. Like, dude, Darnold's literally just sitting in the pocket. There's no pressure on him at all. 3rd down and 1. They go offset I formation. Only one receiver in Jigba. Now they're going to try to go to him on the fade, and it's incomplete. Marshawn Lattimore with some good coverage there, and now he's down on the ground. Oh my gosh, dude, you don't want to see that. No, he's back up. He's limping a bit. He's limping pretty good on the sideline. But hey, we get him off the field. Hallelujah. Let's go down and score 8 here. By the way, Lattimore not even looking at the ball.
Yeah, I mean, nothing that Lattimore did on that play.
Kicks away. It's going to be fielded at the 18. Lane makes one man miss. Now he's going to try and make another guy miss, and he gets hit hard at around the 21. So Jayden and the offense will have to go quite a long ways here to get a touchdown. And right now, if they want to make this a 3-score game, they're going to have to score 3 touchdowns and convert 3 consecutive 2-point conversions as well. And they're not going to be able to give up any points to be able to tie the game. So So you're telling me there's a chance? Not really, but I guess theoretically.
They can score 31.5. Then we can too.
You sound like the kid on the bus.
I know.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
I know.
You guys, coach is right. We need to play harder. Shut up, dude. We got Pistol here. They're going to hand it off to Bill. Makes one man miss out of now nice cuts here from Bill. He's going to pick up around 6.
I mean, I'm hoping they come back. Then I'll have that pickle juice cup with mayonnaise in it. I'll eat my words. I'll do it.
I know you will, man, because you're a freak. Shotgun Daniels takes the snap. Nothing there initially. Looking to run. Now he's going to loft it. Open receiver. It's caught by Zach Ertz. He's like the only guy that's like caught a pass today. Big gain for Washington. First down. Zach Ertz, you may be playing for somebody else come next week. You can say that for about a lot of different Commanders players right now. Yeah, nice throw on the run by Jayden. I mean, the arm talent's still there. The rushing ability is still there. The playmaking ability is still there. Like I keep saying, guys, this is not a Jayden Daniels issue. If you can't put a supporting cast around a quarterback, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is, they're going to struggle. Shotgun for Daniels. We'll send a man in motion. Jalen Lane right to left. He will go handoff to Bill. He will fight forward for about a gain of 3 or 4. Decent gain. Now Daniels looking, nothing there initially again, and he's going to get swallowed up, sack. Couldn't escape that time. It'll be 3rd down and very long coming up. Going to need a Jayden miracle to move the chains. Hey, it's 4 down territory here, so I would say probably pick up some yardage, make it 4th and manageable. But Leonard Williams knifes inside. Commanders can't pick up the stunt. Jayden kind of goes into pressure there, kind of steps up right into Leonard Williams. So, all right, 3rd and 13 to go empty with Jayden. Trips left, takes the snap. He's looking, pressure on him. He's just going to have to dump it, and he throws off his back foot and short to Debo, incomplete. 4th and 13. Commanders have to punt. It's a fucking joke of a team, man. I mean, did they seriously only chip block that guy coming on the edge and Laramie Tunsil doesn't pick up Boye fucking Mafe? Is that seriously our plan, Cliff? I have to assume Laramie's out of position there. There's just no way you leave an edge rusher almost completely unblocked. And now Tressway is on the punt. Down 24. And you're almost hoping for just like a miracle botched, play here by Seattle. And he's going to catch it at the 12. Fair caught it. And Seattle will have a long field here, but Commanders need to get going, man. They got to score 3 more times, and they can't give up any more points. So. And Marshawn Lattimore in the medical tent, and he's still in there apparently, so I would assume that he's not going to be able to come out for this next drive. So that would mean both of your starting corners are now injured. So not only are your 2 starting edge rushers out for the season, but now Trey Amos is dealing with a hip injury, and he's been maybe your best defensive player this year, especially in the secondary. And Lattimore, who's played, I guess, okay at times the last couple weeks, is also out. Apparently Trey Amos is back on the field right now, so I guess that hip issue. Dude, just take him out of the game. Why are we risking the health of our potential stud corner of the future right now. The season's over. The game is fucking over. There's just nothing that this Commanders team does well right now. I mean, last year you could buffer kind of a bad defense, and it was a below-average defense. It wasn't this bad last year, but it was below average for sure.
Yeah.
But you could buffer that with an offense that could hang with anybody. Right? They could beat anybody in a shootout. Like Jayden Daniels, if you wanted to throw it, Jayden could get it to Terry McLaurin, Zach Ertz. Even Alameda Zaccheaus was a big-time contributor last year. The run game worked last year a lot better. The run blocking was a hell of a lot better last year. And that's really the difference between last year's squad and this year's squad. Obviously, the defense is worse. We know that. But the offense is way worse. Right? The offense over the last month has been a fucking joke.
It's just been, no one's been healthy in offense. Terry McLaurin. Even Deebo Samuel, Jayden Daniels. It's just no one's consistent. There's no fluidity in this offense.
Why is Preston Smith out there? Why is he getting snaps?
I don't know, man.
And right now we have Johnny Newton taking snaps at defensive end. What are we doing?
I don't know.
Just this team. Jonathan Jones back out there in the place of Marshawn Lattimore, even though Troy Amos is back out there for some reason. First down and 10. The Seahawks will start under center. He'll take the snap, play action, roll out to the right, looking left now. He's going to launch down the field. Too high, incomplete. Tried to go to Njigba and Jonathan Jones. Now they're going to go late flag. A good 5 seconds after the ball falls to the turf, they throw the flag. There's no way they can call that, bro. Defensive pass interference on Jonathan Jones. That is a fucking joke. I think. Let me look at the replay. And he holds down the other arm.
Well,
he kind of goes up with one hand, though. I think he tries to go up with the other hand, though. Fuck. I can't say I necessarily disagree with the call.
No,
it's kind of the same thing with the Marshawn Lattimore play from earlier.
It's just more the fact that it was that late.
Yeah, the fact that they threw it that late is kind of a joke, but fuck.
Whatever.
This game's over anyway, so. Handoff, Kenneth Walker gets maybe half a yard. Good stop there by, looked like Sheldon Day, brought up from the practice squad this week. But yeah, man, Seattle's a good football club. This is what a good football team looks like, okay? Both sides of the ball. They're a good team. They're going to be in the playoffs, and they deserve to be in the playoffs, and the Commanders have clearly shown over the last month of football they don't belong. They don't belong.
And John Galt saying, game over, man. Game over.
It's game over, man.
What is that from?
Marshawn Lattimore's got a knee injury, apparently, and he's questionable to return. So if that's any sort of serious, that's going to prevent him from being traded, which sucks. Because I would love to get a draft pick out of him, but...
Aliens, yeah, that's what I thought. But...
hopefully he's okay, though. I think I already have my takeaways. I've got 10 of them, so...
okay.
You can probably start building those already, honestly.
Alrighty.
And, when this game is, officially out of reach, officially official, I think we're just going to go into the post-game cut and do the raffle. And we probably just won't have scoreboard. No scoreboard. Just takeaways and injuries. Backups. No post-game stats. Just takeaways. Just let me talk. Second down and 9, throws to Torrey Horton. It's caught for a decent gain. It'll be third down coming up. And that's Trey Amos with the tackle. The one thing that I will say is at least the Commanders don't look like they're giving up. They look like they are trying out there. It's just they're not good enough. Like every time they make a tackle, they're getting up and they're bringing energy and they're bringing juice, but it's just they're not good enough. Empty formation here on 3rd down and 4. Remember, you can't give up any points here if you want to keep this within a 3-score margin. Darnold looking, no pressure on him again. Now he has to rotate. He throws, and it's intercepted by Mike Samerstill around midfield. So Samerstill, at least the one thing you can say is that he's got a couple interceptions this year, but that's just a bad play by Darnold. That's his second non-completion in this game, and listen, man, I think if you want any shot, you got to score a touchdown here and get the 2-point conversion. Like, if you can't take advantage of these opportunities, the game's over. You know what this season kind of reminds me of, Ponzi? It kind of reminds me of the, Samerstill has his towel on his face. I'm guessing he's probably done. But now shotgun Daniels. It reminds me of the Bears season last year, where decent start to the Bears season last year, but then they have the Fail Mary game against us, and then their season just completely collapsed. They go orbit handoff here to Deebo Samuel. He gets about maybe 3. And then their season just completely crumbles from that point forward, and their season's done. It reminds me a lot of what we're seeing with the Commanders, because there's just nothing this team does well outside of Jayden Daniels, getting the occasional, out-of-structure play for them. This was supposed to be a team to compete for a Super Bowl this year. This was supposed to be a team that competed with the Super Bowl champs, the Philadelphia Eagles, in this division. So much for that. Now shotgun, 2nd down and 7. Jayden trips right, the single receiver out to the left, takes the snap. Jayden looking, nothing there, tries to step up. He will be escaping, taking a big hit after about a 5-yard gain. Protect yourself, young fella. Be 3rd down and 2 coming up. And once again, nobody open. I mean, Jayden just doesn't want to throw the ball. There's just Jayden just doesn't have any confidence to pull the trigger, whether it's guys not getting open and that's probably what it is. This guy's just not getting open, and there's just not enough talent in this wide receiver room here in Washington. That's going to have to be something they address this offseason for sure. Shotgun Daniels on 3rd down and 1. They hand it off, and they barely get it. Chris Rodriguez Jr. fights forward for about 3 yards. 1st down, Commanders. Can we get a touchdown here? Can we get a touchdown, and can we get a 2-point conversion? We'll see. Empty formation. Jayden takes the snap. He rolls out to the right. He's still looking. He's just going to run it for a gain of 2. Once again, nobody open. Dude, I think I have to do a video this week breaking down all the times that Jayden ran the football and looking at the picture to see if there was anybody open, because I guarantee you on most of these, nobody's open. And, even the best quarterbacks, Tom Brady had a really bad had an off year, big time, with the Patriots, his final year in New England, because he didn't have any receivers that could get open for him. If you don't have any receivers, no quarterback can have success. Nobody. No quarterback in the league can have success. And unfortunately, the Commanders have to call timeout here. I guess we can't get lined up correctly either. Someone's asking, where's Deebo? Deebo's out there. He's just not getting open. Oh, Jalen Lane was open on that one. So there's one example of a time Jayden could throw the ball down, but he just doesn't trust anybody. If that's Terry McLaurin, that's a touchdown. But because Jalen Lane has dropped a million passes this year, he decides to tuck it and run. I mean, but Jayden, no question, has to pull the trigger on that. Like, you have a wide open receiver streaking towards the end zone, and you pull it down for a 1-yard gain. That's just not something that should be happening. Like, Jayden should be able to make that play. Shotgun for JD5, flag on the play. They're going to call false start. Great. Can't do nothing right, man. Can't do nothing right. Can't line up correctly. And that, by the way, that's out of a timeout. People leaving early. Undisciplined football. To quote my great friend, to quote my friend Harrison Graham of the Bears Now channel, holy mother of shit fuck. This is a bad football team. Second down and 14 from Seattle's 45. Two people in the backfield with Jayden. He takes the snap. Nothing there initially, and now he's trying to escape, and he's going to get hit in the backfield sack, and his head hits the ground hard. Hopefully Jayden's okay. He gets up. Be third down and about 16 coming up. It's 4-down territory, so I'm guessing you might just try and get this into manageable, but like Deebo Samuel's just completely locked up by Tyreek Woolen of all people. Like Tyreek Woolen, he's not like a man corner. It's just Jayden just doesn't trust anything that he's seeing. He doesn't trust his pass protection. He doesn't trust people to get open. And now Jayden will take the snap from shotgun. They send pressure. Jayden's got to get rid of the football, and he's going to get hit as he throws. And tight coverage from Woolen, incomplete. Flag on the play. We'll see what the flag is, but Jayden's already loosening his helmet. I'm guessing this is on the Commanders, and they'll have to punt. Chop block on the offense, another penalty. Penalties declined. It'll be 4th down. Commanders, I guess, have to punt. And they're going to go chop block on Jeremy McNichols. And it's a pretty textbook chop block right there. But, man, out of all the games this year, like, the Commanders haven't played this bad since the Ron Rivera era. Like, they haven't gotten their asses kicked like this since Ron Rivera was the head coach. Like, probably since maybe Thanksgiving. That's the last one that I really remember being this bad. Yeah, NFC Championship was really bad too, but at least you were just happy to be there. You weren't at home, you know. In a game that, you know, pretty much decides your season. They're going for this, by the way. Jayden's going to have to spin out of it. He spins out of another tackle. He's still extending. He has to run for it. He has to pick it up, and he's going to get tripped up, and that's going to be 4th down. He throws the football, and he's pissed that he couldn't get it. And you get the interception, and you still technically have a shot if you can get the touchdown in the 2-point conversion to keep yourself alive, but Jayden gets tripped up, and Seattle takes over. Man, I don't even know what to say, man, but make sure you guys click that subscribe button because I'm expecting full-scale fire sale mode over the next 2 days. Deebo Samuel, you want him for a 5th-round pick, he's yours. Laramie Tunsil, you want him for a day 2 draft pick, he's yours. If you want Daron Payne for a late day 2, maybe even early day 3 pick, he's yours. You got to get younger on this team, man. So, you know, I would see if people are interested in these players, and then you look at guys like Brandon Coleman at left tackle for the rest of the season. You look at guys, you know, like Traylon Burks, I guess, and Robbie Chosen, and, you know, when Terry gets back, of course, you're going to be keeping him. But Marshawn Lattimore has been declared out for the rest of this game with a knee injury, by the way. So with that injury, Marshawn's not going anywhere. Excuse me. Listen, man, should we just do the raffle? Just so, like, if people that are in the raffle can leave if they want. How about this? We give people 5 minutes, all right? 5-minute shot clock, and then we're going to do the raffle, all right? Because I don't know about you guys, but I want to get out of here as soon as I can. We're probably going to get into the post-game show even a little early in this one. Yeah, exactly. So we're going to give you guys 5 minutes. If you guys want to get your free raffle entries in, or not free raffle, if you guys want to purchase raffle tickets for the Jayden Daniels jersey, you guys can get in on the raffle. If we want to put the raffle, or if you want to put the donation menu up. $5 gets you in for a chance to win a brand new Jayden Daniels jersey. $10 gets you 3 tickets, $20. We won't do the Cry Eagles Cry song because we're the losers. We're the losers. $10 or $20 will give you 10 tickets, though. And we've already passed 250 on the day, so we'll be doing another Jayden Daniels jersey raffle next week. But, man, that's next week's got another blowout written all over it on the road in Detroit, and you're staring 3-7 right in the face. And, like, 3-7 is, like, Raiders bad. That's like we're looking at top 10 pick in the NFL draft next year territory. Maybe even top 5. Like, that is how bad this Commanders team is this year, guys. Shotgun for Darnold, looking pressure on him. Now he gets away, and now he scoots on. Of course, he gets it away to Charbonnet. There's a flag on the play. He's going to get into pretty deep into Commanders territory. But there's a flag on the play. We'll see. If you guys want to get on the raffle, this is last call. We're going to do the raffle here pretty soon so that, the people that still want to be here for the raffle don't have to wait until the end of this shit show to be able to win. Flag was on the Commanders, by the way. It's a holding on Mike Samerstill. So the penalties declined. And Sam Darnold was literally on his way to the ground and tossed it this way. Can't do anything right, man. This is, after, kind of a step in the right direction last week where they at least gave a solid effort versus Kansas City on the road, none of that was the case in this ball game. I formation, handoff Zach Charbonnet. He'll pick up a yard. Justin Yankuski coming in with a 5. He says, Debo worth a look for the Steelers. Man, I think the Steelers probably want more of a route runner. It's kind of, a bigger body route runner. Debo's not really that guy. Now, Debo's interesting because he would fit as a run blocker inside Arthur Smith's system, and he can be a screen threat, but they already kind of have Jonnu to play that role in the offense. So, honestly, I think they'd probably rather get like a Jacoby Myers. Toss, it's going to be a rollout to the left, thrown, caught for a gain of around 4 or 5. Jonathan Jones pushes him out of bounds. 3rd down coming up. But, man, like if Jacoby Myers is too expensive for the Steelers, like maybe they give Debo a look. I don't know, but I think Debo would kind of fit, their veteran kind of profile. They're trying to win now. But I do think there's other guys out there that the Steelers would probably want ahead of Debo. Now, throws over the middle. Darnold caught. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Trey Amos in coverage. Decent coverage, but in Jigba's just him. So, Justin, you're in the raffle for the Daniels jersey. Got a couple of super chats to get to here. Shot clock. We're closing up shot on 1 minute and 10 seconds here, guys. So if you want to get your last minute jersey raffle tickets in, $20 for D-Tug. That's Canadian dollars. Hand off to Kenneth Walker. He fights forward, and he picks up 12. Flag comes in late. But they're inside the 10-yard line and inside the Prize Picks red zone. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS. After you download the Prize Picks app today to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. And it's a face mask on Javon Kinlaw, so so it's going to be half a distance here. They'll put him at like the 3-yard line. Yay. $5 from Patrick gets him another raffle ticket. Best of luck to you, Patrick. Flags on the play. And I think timeout, Washington. So once again, pre-snap procedure forces Commanders to call timeout. And at this point, did Seattle call it? Oh, I guess Seattle did call it. My mistake. But it was Washington, right? Okay, yeah, FNBC. Patrick, you're in the raffle again, pal. Best of luck to you. But yeah, man, I if you guys don't want to, stick around for this entire shit show, I understand. So we're gonna do the raffle here. So if you guys want to leave, you can. But we will have post-game analysis, and my guess is you don't want to miss that because I'm going to be going off on this football team. I'm going to hold nothing back in this post-game show because I am pissed. Shotgun for Darnold at the 3. He throws, end zone, incomplete. Frankie Louva with some decent coverage on A.J. Barner there. Be second down and goal.
The sad thing is, Barry, they're still passing it, so the clock just goes slow.
Yeah, they're not even, it would be one thing if Seattle was running this football and just killing clock every play, but no, they're passing it because they want to rub it in, pad their offensive stats, and make them look better than they actually are, even though they are a good football team. But under center, handoff, Kenneth Walker trying to spin his way to the end zone. He'll get to the 1. Kobe Smith, $5, says, if I was Art Monk, I would have left at halftime. Me too, man. It's probably past Art's bedtime. Yeah, we'll do the raffle after this drive, by the way, guys. It seems like Seattle is going to go up by 4 scores here. It's going to be push, touchdown, Seattle. Let's do the raffle, and then let's just get right into the postgame. Before the fourth quarter. Like, we're going to do the postgame. What's that? All right. Before we get into the raffle here, let's have a word from our sponsor today at Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks this year. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old, ladies and gentlemen. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more than or less than on at least 2 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose Flex Play, where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the Power Play. No matter how you play, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Now, unfortunately, it looks like Ponzi and I are not going to be making money here tonight. We took the moron Deebo Samuel receiving yards. Then we got Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt touchdown. And then we got Sam Darnold, passing yards. Hey, at least that one hit, unfortunately. But download the Prize Picks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Commander season may be over, but your season on Prize Picks can just get started now when you use code CLNS. You get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, so big shout out to Shaggy for putting in $300 last week, and that means we're going to be giving away a jersey here. Whoever wins, make sure you send me an email at sperry@chatsports.com. Brad Henry, are you here? Is Brad here? Do we see him? All right, Brad, let us know if you're in here. Let's give him like 3 minutes. John Gout says, I am Brad Henry. Good try, John. Brian, are you here? Or not Brian. Brad, are you here? Give him a few minutes here. If not, we'll take his names out and we will spin again. Yeah, Shaggy's gone. I don't see him. Brad, hopefully he's not watching on a delay. Seattle has over 400 yards of offense, man. Over double the amount of yards as the Commanders in this ball game. Yeah, let's spin it again. Patrick. Do we have a Patrick in the chat? Was it just Patrick in the chat? Okay. I'm guessing this is maybe one of the free raffle entries, and he's probably not here. Moby says, I can be Patrick. Well, let's spin it again. Oh, wait. Oh, Patrick says, my name is Patrick, but not the one that got put in the raffle. Well, at least he's honest. Shout out to Patrick. And now Deebo Samuel's going to rip off a long run to the Seahawks 45, not the Mets. And now Shaggy. What's that? No. I have Shaggy's information, so I'll let Shaggy know that he won the raffle here. Shout out to Shaggy. He put in the most money today, so maybe he's the one that deserves it the most. But, yeah, man. Let's just rip this postgame show, man. This game's over. Don't think there's any reason to keep watching this game. So we're gonna get into our postgame show here, guys. You're not gonna want to miss it because I'm not gonna hold anything back. So the season's over. Commanders, the 2025 Commander season is officially dead, and that sucks because you had such high expectations for this season, and to have it be over just midway through the year is extremely, extremely disappointing. To have it over before the trade deadline, I mean, I thought there was no way in hell that was going to be the case, but that's where we are right now, 3-6, with very, very small chances of making the NFL postseason. And now it's time to start embracing for the future. It's time to realize what this team is, what it isn't, and start realizing what it could be in the future and start working towards that. So Ponzi needs a little sec here, but we're going to be going. And of course, we'll stay live as long as you guys want to super chat and vent and get your questions on the show. If you have any comments, questions that you want to discuss on the program, feel free. But Daniels just took another sack. It's going to be 4th and forever. Let's just get into the post game, man. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're going to be here for every single Commanders game this year, or at least most of them. I will also give you guys extensive trade deadline coverage. It could be a busy deadline this year. Adam Peters, I'd be working the phones right now trying to unload some of my veteran players for draft picks. That's what I'd be doing. We'll see how many of these guys they can actually come to deals for. But I think it's time to clean house. 3-6, the season's over. The best you can hope for is a very positive end to the season where you get some young players out there that show you some good things. Maybe you get to, 8 or 9 wins and, you put together some good football down the stretch when Terry McLaurin gets back. But in terms of your playoff hopes, in terms of your Super Bowl hopes, all those are all but dead. So let's talk about this one right here on the Commanders Report postgame show at the end of the third quarter. Well, that sucked. I'm filming this video at the end of the third quarter when the Commanders are down 38-7 on their home turf in a game that they needed to win tonight in order to keep their season alive. But instead, I'm filming this as early as I am because I'm so certain that the final score is going to end in a Commanders loss, and it's going to end up in a 4th straight loss for the Commanders, bringing this team to a 3-6 record midway through the season, and the season is officially over. So what do we do now, Commanders Nation? Well, I'll be talking about my takeaways surrounding this game, as well as what I think the Commanders should do moving forward as the trade deadline approaches here over the next 2 days. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button because it could be a very busy next 2 days for the Commanders. It could be a full-on fire sale of some veteran players on this roster that could be dealt before Tuesday's deadline. We're going to have breaking news coverage every time Adam Peters unloads one of these guys to a different team, if they do it at all. I guess we'll have to see what Adam Peters can get for these players by the deadline. But if they make a move, we will have you guys covered on the show, so make sure you guys click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay, so the injuries. We have to start with injuries. Luke McCaffrey gets injured on the first play of the game, returning the kick. He gets slammed to the ground, shoulder injury. If I have to speculate, I think it's some sort of collarbone injury, maybe broken collarbone. We'll see. But, that doesn't look good. And he was really one of the better things about this team was the kick return game, is that he would consistently get this team past the 30, even into the 40 range, get them good field position. That looks to be gone at this point, and that sucks. And also McCaffrey was showing some good things in the receiving game. And, as the season's over now, it'd be nice to have McCaffrey have a little bit of a tryout for himself to earn himself a long-term position as a full-time receiver on this offense. And if he's out for the rest of the season or if he's out for multiple weeks, which is kind of what it looks like to me, he's not going to have that chance, and that sucks for Luke McCaffrey. Marshawn Lattimore also left this game today with a knee injury. There's some other bumps and bruises associated with play. Trey Amos had a hip injury that he was limping off the field multiple times with in this ball game. Some other things, where people were limping off, but Lattimore left the game with a knee injury, and that probably takes away any chance that he gets traded before the trade deadline, which sucks because you maybe could have got a 7th-round pick out of somebody for him. So that's not great. But then you get to the takeaways, okay? I got 10 of them. First thing I want to say is that Jayden Daniels is not the issue. Now, he's part of the problem. There was a couple plays today where he had open receivers down the field, and he didn't pull the trigger. But, man, you can just tell he has no trust in the receivers that are out there. You can tell he has no trust in his offensive line. How many times did he tuck the ball and run today? And, when you don't give a quarterback a run game, when you don't give a quarterback receivers that can beat man coverage consistently, and the ones that do don't catch the football consistently, that's going to create an environment for a quarterback that's just not sustainable. And, really the story of the season has been not having Jayden Daniels and Terry McLaurin on the field at the same time this season. And that was really what I think kept defenses honest last year. The threat of Terry McLaurin as an all-pro receiver on the outside, it opened things up for the run game. They couldn't play as aggressively because Jayden would just throw the deep bomb to Terry McLaurin, and that connection was awesome. This year, that's not the case because Jayden and Terry have not really been on the field all that much. They've been on the field together for like a game and 3 quarters this season. And the season's already over before they can get back on the field together. And then, the run game's not going well. No one can get open here. Whether it's Traylon Burks, Deebo Samuel, Jalen Lane, these guys don't get open very often. And when they do, Jayden is usually not looking at him. Really, the only guy he trusts in this offense at this point is Zach Ertz. But even he isn't a high-level separator. He's more of a zone guy where he finds soft spots in zones, right? So, no one's afraid of this Steelers passing attack because no one's afraid of their receivers. There's nobody that really threatens deep down the field that stretches this defense. And because of that, defenses can play super aggressively. They can play a lot of man coverage. They can have limited safety help on the top. And, there's nothing that the Commanders offense can do about it. There's nothing Jayden Daniels can do about it. There's nothing Cliff Kingsbury can do about it. And I think that the big difference between this year's Commanders offense and last year's Commanders offense is the run game. And we saw, a good run game in the first 5 weeks. It looked like the Commanders run game in the first 5 weeks of the season. They were one of the best run games in the league, a top 3 run defense in the game. All right, the offensive line was winning the line of scrimmage. Okay, Bill Krosky-Merritt was looking like a future star. Okay, we're sitting at 3-2. It was a pretty decent start to the year. But this team goes as the run game goes, unfortunately, and this run game has completely fallen off a cliff over the last month. And, it's led to the demise of this football team. Because if you can't stop anybody on defense, if you can't get anybody open on passing in the passing game, and then you can't get anything going in the run game, there's literally nothing that you can do to make it better. And there's nothing you can do to win football games. And there's just nothing that this Commanders team does well at this point in time. Now we get to the offensive line. I think Chris Paul has to sit, all right? He played pretty well. I think the first 2 weeks he played, and then they just kept starting him. But over the last few weeks, man, he has not had a particularly good time out there. And I think at this point, you just got to see what you have in Brandon Coleman. You just got to put him out there, whether it's at left tackle, whether it's at left guard, depending on if they trade Laramie Tunsil or not. We'll get to that in a second. You got to put Brandon Coleman out there some way, somehow, and Chris Paul has kind of turned back into the pumpkin that he's been for most of his NFL career, unfortunately. And then, Jalen Lane, once again, another, hands mistake today, fumbling a kick return in this football game, which allowed the Seattle Seahawks to go up 21-0. And you can tell that Jayden doesn't trust him to throw the ball down the field. There's an opportunity in this game where Jayden's rolling out to his right, and Lane is wide open, streaking towards the end zone against cover 2. And he doesn't throw it to him because he probably is just not looking at him because he doesn't trust him, A, to get open, and B, to catch the football if he throws it to him. So that lack of trust in 83 is very apparent, and, I just don't know if he's playable at this point. Like, every game there's a drop or a key fumble or, a botched punt. It just seems like every single game there's something different with Jalen Lane. And, it's disappointing to say that about somebody that is so dynamic with the ball in his hands in space. He is so fast, and he can really have some awesome double moves down the field. But if you can't catch the ball on offense, man, it's going to be rough sledding. And that's unfortunately the case with Jalen Lane this season. So what say you guys? We're halfway through our takeaways here after this Week 9 embarrassment on Sunday Night Football in front of a national audience. Great today's performance. I mean, if it's anything other than an F, I don't know what to tell you, man. This is one of the worst games I've ever witnessed from Washington Commanders' perspective, and I've watched a lot of Ron Rivera football, okay? Like, this is one of the worst games I've ever seen, and, it was a straight-up embarrassment tonight. Worst game they've played all season, and that's saying something. This will be the pinned comment on today's show. While I talk about our sponsor here, Prize Picks, go down there in the comment section and give me a grade for tonight's performance. With that, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Prize Picks, and the hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old. So keep the season rolling on, even if the Commanders season is over, with our friends at Prize Picks by getting $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more than or less than on at least 2 player stats. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play where you can still get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the bigger payouts, if you know ball, you should go for the power play. No matter how you play, though, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Tonight, we took the more on Deebo Samuel receiving yards. That did not hit. We took the more on touchdowns for Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. That did not hit. And we took the more on passing yards for Sam Darnold. Hey, at least he shredded the Commanders' defense, right? But unfortunately, Ponzi and I did not win any money with our friends at Prize Picks. But if you know ball more than me and Ponzi, you guys can win with Prize Picks. Just download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. On the defensive side of the ball, guys, I hate to say it, and I had such high hopes for these 2 young players who showed some good things last year, but Mike Sainristil and Quan Martin are awful. Quan in particular today, multiple missed tackles, not good in coverage, all these different things. And then you add on top of that Mike Sainristil, who also gave up a pretty easy touchdown today. He had an interception today. Good for him, I guess, but he's just not a nickel player, man. Like, he needs to be playing on the outside and off coverage, and I think he can actually be a pretty decent starter in that kind of system, in that role, in an off-zone style defense as a number 2 starting corner. I think he can hold up in that regard. He did that last year with this defense, and he did it pretty well. But now that he's moved into the slot and they just refuse to take him out of that spot, it's just so bad. And Quan Martin's unplayable at this point. Not in a million years did I think those 2 players, who, by the way, were praised during training camp. Everyone was talking about how these 2 guys were going to be the standouts on defense this year and how they were the standouts in camp and they were making plays left and right. They're the ones consistently not making plays on defense and allowing huge holes in the coverage, giving up big plays, missing tackles. And it just sucks that these 2 young players that we had so much hope and promise for heading into this year have been so disappointing. And unfortunately, guys, I hate to tell you, but this defense is unfixable. Okay, they refuse to take Bobby Wagner out, who's a complete liability on defense. Marshawn Lattimore, when he's out there, consistently gets DPIs. Like we talked about, Mike Sainristil and Quan Martin are practically unplayable players. Frankie Louvu, they keep playing him at off-ball linebacker, even though he can't tackle in space and he can't play in coverage anymore. Of course, you're completely decimated at defensive end with the injuries to Dorrance Armstrong and Dietrich Wise. Like, if you're looking for me to come in front of you guys and tell you a lie and say that they can fix this defense this year, I'd be lying to you. All right, and I'm not going to do that. This defense is done. It's cooked. All right, and there's nothing other than getting the old players off the field and trying to get the young players in is going to work. Okay, and that's the only thing I can tell you. And even when you get the new guys in, you're taking out Bobby Wagner, who's your green dot and your mode of communication on defense. So you're going to have new players out there. There's going to be miscommunications. There's going to be bad football played. But at this point, man, it's all about evaluating young players for the future to see if they have a future with this team. Okay? And unfortunately, I hate to report to you guys, but this season is pretty much over. All right? Just taking a look at the math, you have to win 7 of your final 8 games here just to put yourself in contention to make the playoffs with 10 wins. Okay, so you have to be pretty much the best team in football down the stretch with this defense, with this lack of a run game, with this offense. All right, it's just, I don't think it's doable to win 7 out of 8 with this team. I don't care if they get Trey Hendrickson tomorrow in a trade. Like, they're not going to win 7 of their next 8 games. Like, this secondary is not good enough, right? So unless you're injecting a ton of good talent to this defense tomorrow and next week, it's not going to happen. All right, this season is done. You got multiple tough games down the stretch. You got the Eagles twice. You have to play the Cowboys again. You got Detroit next week on the road, for Christ's sakes. Like, yeah, man, this season's done. You've had 4 straight losses. This defense can't stop anybody. This offense has nothing going for it right now outside of Jayden Daniels, carrying you a couple plays a game. And it's sad. It's a sad reality, but it's the truth. And that's why the rest of this season is all about the future. Okay, it's all about making sure that you're putting players out there and giving them a chance to try and do something with this season and trying to establish themselves as future members of this team. Young guys like Traylon Burks, who barely got the ball today. All right, get him the ball a little bit more down the stretch. Trade away your veteran players that aren't going to be, future players on this team in the future. Play your young guys. Play Kay Madrano. Play Ali Cahoe. Play Jordan McGee at linebacker. All right? Try different things on the defensive line. Just try different stuff. Put players out there that could be potential long-term answers for this team and see what you have so that when you head into the next offseason, you know what you have and you know which players you can trust moving into the 2026 campaign. And because you want to get younger and because you want to make this season about the future and about the younger players, I think it's time for a fire sale. All right, if somebody's willing to give me a pretty decent draft pick for Laramie Tunsil at this point, I'm willing to do that to see if we have something in Brandon Coleman moving forward. If somebody wants to trade a decent draft pick for Daron Payne, I would think about trading him to see if we have something in Johnny Newton up the middle as a defensive tackle. All right, if somebody wants to give me a 5th-round pick for Deebo Samuel, I think I would take that at this point. You're not bringing him back next year anyway. Might as well get a pick out of him if you can. Same thing with Zach Ertz. Day 3 pick, I'm letting him go. All right, I'm seeing what I got in Ben Sinnott at tight end for the rest of this season. Like, we're just at a point here, guys, where, holding on to these older veteran players that, they're not going to be here in the future and they're not going to be a part of this upcoming rebuild that is clearly coming. So if you can get decent value and you can get more chances at the dartboard here in the 2026 NFL draft, and it gives you opportunities to play younger players, it just makes too much sense for Adam Peters to unload some of these veteran players that aren't going to be long-term players for this team. And I guess we'll have to see what Adam Peters does in the weeks to come. But for me, I would definitely be putting these players up for sale. So point the finger for me down there in the comment section. Who's the most to blame for the loss today? There's so much blame to go around, man, but obviously, the buck stops with the head coach, and that's Dan Quinn. And obviously the team was not ready to play today. Obviously the defensive game plan was terrible. Obviously, they didn't do enough this offseason to be able to fill this team with enough talent to be able to compete at a high level like they did last year, and it's just been disappointing, man. So I'm going to put it on Dan Quinn, but also Adam Peters gets a little bit of the blame. Joe Witt Jr. gets a bit of the blame. All that different stuff, but it's clear that this team and this coaching staff and this front office did not put together a winning product this year, and that's disappointing because we really thought that they were going to. Some final thoughts here before we say goodbye. I really thought this team was going to be good this year, just like they were last year. I thought, the sophomore slump was not going to be coming for Jayden Daniels because he was more of a mobile presence than C.J. Stroud is. All that different stuff, and make sure you guys click that subscribe button because it's going to be a long process here, guys. So make sure you click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Greatly appreciate your guys' support, and until next time, hail to the Commanders. We just finished our cut here, guys, and the reason why I kind of cut that short, oh my gosh, Jayden Daniels' arm just completely broke. Oh my gosh, I just saw the video of Jayden Daniels' arm breaking. Oh my god. That is not good, dude. Jayden Daniels' arm just split in half. We're going to have to refilm that, Ponzi. We just have to make it about Jayden. No takeaways, dude. Well, I mean, maybe a couple. Let me take a look at it here. We need breaking news L3. Breaking news: Jayden Daniels breaks arm. Well, we'll just get off immediately once we're done. We'll do post-prod for it. And now the cart is coming out for Jayden Daniels, but Jayden, Oh my gosh, man. Prayers up for Jayden Daniels, guys. Holy fuck, that is such a bad injury. That's going to be the end of his season. That's good. What's up? Jayden Daniels suffers severe arm injury. Has to be carted off the field. I have no words. This is your franchise, and he's going to be out the rest of this. Who knows how serious? Dude, this injury looks so bad. I can't even describe to you how gross it looks. And I believe it's his throwing arm. It's his non-throwing arm? Okay, it's his non-throwing arm. So at least there's that. But, like, there's no question he's out for the rest of the season. No, man. I know, man. Just player L3 and then probably just an L3. We'll probably spend the second. We'll probably do first half with Jayden. Second half, we'll probably do other injuries and then just do an L3 where the season is officially over, and then another L3 where it's time for a fire sale at the deadline. We'll do that second half of the video, and then some final thoughts on Jayden to finish. Jayden is walking off the field, but clearly upset. Looks like he's crying, and I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, that's just a horrific injury. Clearly a broken arm. If you have any, if you had any thought about how much he means to this team, when he got injured, bro, everybody was down on a knee over where he was. Like, yeah, we're just gonna get out after this cut. We're just gonna push this as soon as possible. If you want to ask for thumbnail and copy help, go ahead if somebody's available. That would help the process out a little bit. Commanders did score a touchdown. But, man, we knew tonight was going to be a pivotal game for the Commanders season. I don't know if we understood it was this bad. I mean, in my worst nightmares, I couldn't imagine tonight would go as bad as it did. JD5 fan says, "Yo, Jack, should we draft a quarterback in round 1 now?" I listen, man. The answer's probably no to that. Like you got to give like. It's his non-throwing arm. You just got to hope that this is something where he can come back for next season. Like, you got to shut him down the rest of the year for sure. For what? Breaking news. Then Jayden Daniels suffers horrific arm injury. Has to be put in air cast. For those of you that are just tuning in, Jayden Daniels unfortunately suffers a pretty severe arm injury. It's almost certainly a broken arm, broken elbow probably, honestly, and it's going to end his season. So Marcus Mariota will likely get the rest of this season to prove to NFL teams that he can still play, but I mean, this team's not good enough to win with Jayden Daniels. It's not going to be good enough to win with Marcus Mariota, especially not 7 of your last 8 games. Like, it's just a fucking brutal injury after a brutal fucking game. And it's sad. It's sad, man. And what makes it worse is he shouldn't even been out there, man. The backup should have already been in. What's that? I would say, Jayden on there, breaking. Jayden Daniels suffers severe arm injury. Well, I don't think that's confirmed. It's not confirmed. Just say severe. Daniels suffers severe injury. We're going to have to get into another cut here, guys. Yeah, we have to completely scrap that last one. We're going to have to do a brand new post-game show, obviously, for this. And I'm just so, my heart goes out to Jayden Daniels, man. It was not supposed to go this way this year. It wasn't. He was not carted off the field. He walked off. Just say he was put in an air cast. What's that? Yeah. God, dude, I don't even know what to say. That's just the worst. All right, man. His horrific injury to non-throwing arm, and then I'd say put in an air cast. And the thing is, probably most people tuned away from the game just because it was over. And now people are getting like the notifications on their phone that Jayden Daniels has suffered that injury. And it's just like, dude, like the season from hell injury-wise, it's Jayden. Now Terry McLaurin won't be able to play with Jayden the rest of the season. They will play, 7 quarters together the entire year? For most of it, yeah. Yeah, we have to go. Obviously, I'll talk about Jayden, and then when I'm done talking about Jayden and his injury and what it means, we go prize picks. Then we talk about the other injuries, and we talk about how the season's over, and then time for a fire sale to finish. And then we'll probably finish with some more. Yeah. All right. Thank you to everybody that's still watching. Obviously, pretty dark day in Commanders Nation, but we're going to get through it together here, guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. Commanders Nation, I wish I was coming to you right now talking about how the Commanders just lost by a blowout fashion to finish out their season and go down to 3-6. Season eventually being over and the team about to embrace a fire sale, but unfortunately that's not all we're talking about today, as Jayden Daniels, who is still playing in the game, down by multiple scores in the game being over in the fourth quarter, has suffered a pretty horrific arm injury to his non-throwing arm. Keep that in mind. And he was put into an air cast, and it's looking like it's going to be probably a broken elbow, and it's going to end his 2025 season. This is just a crushing blow to Commanders Nation here in a night that we knew was going to be pivotal. We knew that this was going to be something that decided really the fate of this team moving forward. If they won, you're coming off a win at home versus a playoff caliber team. Maybe the season's still alive. Maybe there's still a little bit of hope. But if you lose, you're at 3-6. Season's probably over. You're going to have to, probably sell some players at the deadline, all that stuff. But now you have to worry about this terrible, horrific injury to your star quarterback that you drafted just last year. Gets you to the NFC Championship game, plays phenomenally all season long, leads you to a 12-win season. The NFL players this year ranked him as a top 5 quarterback in the league heading into the year. He's that good of a player, and now you have to worry about really the long-term health of him and his left arm here. As if you watch the injury, I don't recommend you watching it. It is pretty bad, and it's certainly going to put him out for the rest of this season. And I'm sure we'll learn more about the details and how long it's going to keep him out. But it's not looking good. And tonight is about as bad of a nightmare as any Commanders fan could have imagined heading into the night. If you want to show your love to Jayden Daniels, show your support, type those 5s. I'm having a hard time coming up with words for what just happened. You were down by 4 scores in the fourth quarter, and they just kept playing Jayden, and now you lose him for the rest of the season. And that's even more time now where he's away from Terry McLaurin. And, my heart just goes out to the young man because this was not the way this season was supposed to go, man. It was supposed to be Washington Commanders, with some new players, Deebo Samuel, Laramie Tunsil, bringing in some new guys, Dietrich Wise, Javon Kinlaw, bringing in some nice, exciting rookies. And they were supposed to challenge the Philadelphia Eagles for the division. And not only is that not going to happen, but now you've got your star quarterback suffering this level serious injury. And you wonder, thank God it's not to his lower body, but is he even going to be ready for OTAs next year? Is this really, how – my question immediately goes to how long of a recovery is this for Jayden Daniels? Because, I don't know if you guys saw the video. Like I said, I do not recommend you look it up. But his arm literally snaps. And it's one of the most horrific arm injuries I've ever seen. Now, thank Christ it's not his throwing arm, but still, that feels like something that's going to be – a multi-month kind of recovery process. He's not going to be able to train during the offseason, I'm guessing, which is going to affect his development as a young player. And just thinking about the long-term development of this precious superstar that the Washington Commanders fell into with the number 2 overall pick, it harkens back to RG3. It just does. It's not a lower body injury, but it connects to that where it's a horrific injury that is going to keep him out of the practice field for quite a while to continue to develop and continue to express and continue his profile. Now, I don't expect the Commanders to move on from Jayden Daniels or anything like that. I still expect him to be the franchise quarterback of this team moving into 2026 and beyond. But our thoughts and our prayers go out to Jayden Daniels tonight, man. This is probably a nightmare scenario for him, his family. And all we can hope for is that he can make a full recovery and have the career that we all thought and hoped that he would when he was drafted number 2 overall by this football team last year and really showed us he has the potential to be last season in that amazing Rookie of the Year campaign. All right, before we talk about the rest of this football game and what it means for the Commanders moving forward, let's have a word from our sponsor here at Prize Picks. The hard-hitting football season is even better with Prize Picks, and even though the Commanders season is now over, your season can just be getting started on the Prize Picks app today. Prize Picks is simple to play. We just pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if you get your picks right, you could cash in. On Prize Picks, how you play is up to you. If you want flexibility, choose the flex play where you can get paid even if one of your picks misses. And if you want the biggest payouts, go for the power play. No matter how you play, though, Prize Picks is a great way to put your takes to the test. Join millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup on the Prize Picks app today. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. So talking about what this means for the rest of the Commanders season, guys, obviously you lose this game, which puts you down to 3-6. And you don't just take on an injury to Jayden Daniels, but you lose Luke McCaffrey, and that didn't look like a good injury. It was the first play of the game, literally on the kickoff, and he gets slammed to the ground. It's a shoulder injury. It was very quickly deemed out, which tells me he might have a broken collarbone. We'll get that confirmed this week, or we'll see what it is. But it's not looking good for Luke McCaffrey, which sucks because he was such a good kick returner for this team this year, one of the better parts of this team, period. Putting this team in good positions with the ball. And then he had some nice flashes as a receiver this year as well. And, with the season being over, it's really going to be about getting your young players on the field, seeing what these young guys can do, and seeing who has a future with this team and who doesn't. And I would have loved to see Luke McCaffrey out there get more time to see what he could do with presumably Marcus Mariota for the rest of this season. But unfortunately, it's looking like it's not going to happen anytime soon. Hopefully McCaffrey can come back this season, though. Then Marshawn Lattimore left this game with a knee injury. That kind of stinks because I think the Commanders probably would have tried and maybe trade him for a 7th-round pick if somebody was willing to take him. But, with that knee injury, I'm guessing he probably won't be able to be traded. And he'll be with the Washington Commanders for the rest of this year. And my guess is he'll be booted off the team next offseason. So let me know down there in the comment section, is the season officially over? Give me a yes or a no down there in the comment section. I think it is. 3-6, no Jayden Daniels likely the rest of the way. This defense can't stop anybody. This season is officially cooked. And that is my takeaway from this, guys, is that, the season is officially over. And it sucks because you go into the season with such high expectations. I mean, just to show you how high the expectations were in this fan base, I think I predicted the Commanders to win the same amount of games they won last year, 12 wins. And I was told that I was an idiot for suggesting that they would win that few games. All right? The expectation was like 14, 15 wins in this fan base before the season. It really was. And I don't know if that was ever a realistic expectation, but I predicted them to win like 11, 12 games this year. And I thought the defense was going to be a lot better. I thought Mike Samerstill was going to take a step forward. I thought Quan Martin was going to take another step forward. I thought the rookies were going to be contributors. I thought the pass rush was going to be better. I thought Frankie Louvu was going to continue to play at a high level. I thought Jayden Daniels would continue off of his rookie season and have another stellar sophomore campaign. I thought he was going to continue his great connection with Terry McLaurin. I thought this run game was going to continue to play well. And unfortunately, none of that has come true. And I think it's time to face facts, man, especially with Jayden Daniels likely out for the year now. The season's over. You're sitting at 3-6. To even put yourself in consideration for the playoffs, you would have to win 7 of your next 8 with Marcus Mariota and this defense. Good luck is all I have to say, especially because the run game isn't going. There's just so much wrong with this football team. And it's officially time to embrace a fire sale, all right? You have to embrace a rebuild. You have to try and build around Jayden Daniels in the future, and you got to try and see, who the young players are on this team that you want to keep moving forward, heading into this rebuild, heading into 2026. And, all the veteran players that you have on this roster that are worth, that aren't going to be long-term answers here. Laramie Tunsil at left tackle. There's a lot of teams that could use left tackle help. I'm sure you can get a pretty damn good draft pick for him right now. Deron Payne, I'm sure you could get a pretty decent draft pick for a pretty disruptive interior pass rusher right now. Deebo Samuel, a team might take him for maybe a mid-day 3 draft pick. Zach Ertz, somebody might pay a day 3 draft pick for a guy like him who's a good zone, kind of possession-type tight end. Like these older players that are not going to be here in the future, I think it's good to let them go because not only do you get more draft picks and more chances at the dartboard to get young talent, and right now you just don't have a lot of those picks, especially in the early rounds. And if you can get another day 2 pick for Laramie Tunsil, if you can get another late day 2 or early day 3 pick for Deron Payne, you just got to stack up these opportunities for Adam Peters and this front office to put more young talent on this team moving forward. And if you don't see a player on this team, a veteran here long term, I think it's time to try and shop them before Tuesday's deadline. Then also what that does is it gives you opportunity to play younger players, all right? Put Brandon Coleman at left tackle and see if you have something there the rest of the year, all right? See what Johnny Newton can do at defensive tackle. Can he be an every down starter? All right, Ben Sinnott. Put him at the number 1 tight end spot as the receiving tight end. See what he can do. He's had some good moments. Let's see what he can do with Marcus Mariota throwing him the football. Putting these young players out there, throwing them into the fire, seeing what they can do, and see if they sink or swim. And I think that's got to be what the rest of the season is about, just trying to get these, seeing who you want on this team moving forward. And it's all about the future moving forward here in Washington. So, again, guys, to finish up today's show, my heart goes out to Jayden Daniels, man, because he's such a good kid, such a talent. And last year was such a magical season with him really carrying this Commanders team to where he took them. And, I came into the year ranking him as a top 5 quarterback, in the players of the NFL who rank quarterbacks agreed with me on that. He was that good in his rookie season. And this year, just nothing really went the Commanders' way, apparently including this. You lost Dietrich Wise, you lost Dorrance Armstrong, you lost Austin Eckler for the year, you lost so many players, and to lose this one, it just hits a little bit different. So my heart goes out to Jayden Daniels and his family. Hopefully he can have a full and speedy recovery, and hopefully by what I'm guessing is the start of the 2026 season, we can get excited about seeing number 5 in Burgundy back out there for the Commanders. That'll be it for today's edition of the Commanders Report postgame show. Apparently I wore black today because I was going to a funeral, and that sucks. The season is officially over, and it sucks that after an NFC Championship game season where you go 12 wins, magical run, your season's over by the trade deadline. There's no scenario where I thought this was possible for the Commanders this year, and unfortunately, it's the reality that we're living. But we're going to get through it together. We're going to continue to get you guys daily coverage on this football team, and we're going to hope that some of these young players that this team has drafted and brought in can show some good things down the stretch. Hopefully, Marcus Mariota can keep the ship afloat as the season goes on. So I appreciate your guys' support. Say a prayer for Jayden Daniels tonight. It just sucks, and it's going to continue to suck, but we're gonna embrace it together, and hopefully better days will be ahead here in Commanders Nation. So until next time, guys, to the Commanders. All right, man, we're gonna get out of here. We already did our raffle, all that stuff. So I appreciate you guys sticking with us here. We still got over 700 people watching. It's been a tough night for sure. We're gonna get that breaking news video out to you guys as soon as possible, but tonight's a tough night, but make sure you guys click that subscribe button because I think the Commanders are going to be trading some pieces away in the next couple days. So make sure you subscribe for all that latest news coverage as well as the rest of our coverage of the 2025 season right here on the Commanders Report.